Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Friday, December 30th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge. Expect clear skies with a high of 68. Coming up on OTB, Jacob Hester joins the show at 7:30 from the Fiesta Bowl. Rivers Huey will be here at 9 a.m. And we make some picks in the Degen Dome at 9:15. Apparently, Rivers will not be here. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN. Or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? What's going on? Hope you are having a wonderful, wet Friday morning here, December 30th, 2022, rolling right along into the new year. Be safe out there if you are out there. It is kind of crazy weather right now. T-Bob, Mario, and Danny going to be hanging out with you today, and a lot to get to. Remember, we had that kind of fantastic, random Wednesday night, chock full of sports top to bottom. Well, it's kind of rolling right along as you look at what's coming up in New Orleans alone this weekend. The Pelicans got a couple of massive matchups, right? You get the Sixers tonight. Joel Embiid and company, a very good Philadelphia 76er team. In fact, I saw a tweet the other day, when Luka goes for 60, 20, and 10, that's all well and good, but Joel Embiid has more points, higher percentages on everything, better stats, and more wins. So you got the Sixers tonight, and then you got John the Grizzlies tomorrow. You got the Saints playing the Eagles on Sunday, not in New Orleans, but obviously New Orleans relevant, and that's a game that has all kinds of storylines in it, draft implications, and other things on the line, as well as the same slim but somewhat existent playoff hopes. You got Tulane taking on USC in the Cotton Bowl on Monday, and of course you got LSU Purdue coming up as well. Bowl season roll right along. I want to get to those games last night. A little Washington, Texas action, a little Florida State, Oklahoma action. And, we're going to talk to Jeff Duncan at 8 a.m. As well. And shout out to the LSU women's basketball team, who after a 9-day layoff, goes into Bud Walton Arena last night and dominates a ranked Arkansas team. The team that Kim Mulkey has assembled here in Baton Rouge they are absolutely fantastic. Huge win for them. We will talk more about that a bit later. Very good start to the year for LSU basketball as you beat the Razorbacks not once, but twice. Ranked Razorback teams. And I love this because I was reminded of a tweet that I had from earlier this year where if you looked at the 21-22 season, LSU got swept in all the big sports by Arkansas. You lost them in football. I want to say you lost 3 or 4 times, or maybe it was 2 or 3 in basketball, and then you got swept in baseball. So the Hogs had supreme bragging rights over you in every major sport. I said, forget about winning national championship. Scott Woodward's number one goal needs to be fixing this. Well, all of a sudden you look up, you got revenge, and you beat them in football. You beat them in men's basketball in a game in which you had no business winning if you talked to anybody before that game. And then Coach Mulkey and company, as the favorite, beat them down maybe even harder than you would have thought they would. So a fantastic start to the year in the LSU-Arkansas rivalry. Let's talk a little football, though, as the LSU football team is getting ready to play in the Citrus Bowl, and it's kind of a nice time for a final kind of, okay, what exactly happened with LSU in this bowl season, and who is left, who is going to play for the Tigers? And before I do that, though, I do want to reinforce, look, I think the context of this game matters greatly. It's interesting because on an individual level, for these players, I understand guys like Jaquelin Roy, Ollie Gay, B.J. Ojolari not playing in this game, leaving Dre Jenkins. I understand individually them doing what they deem best for their career and for their potential in the NFL, and going to get ready for that jump to the NFL, and the combine and everything is what they feel need to do. And I completely understand that, because this is a game that, yes, is almost like an exhibition game in a lot of ways. It's a game that it is really kind of kicking off next year's team in a lot of ways. So these bowl games, which I love, and if you've watched them the last couple of nights, you see why. I mean, these kids care. They're fantastic. They're competitive. But these bowl games do exist in this odd, almost quantum state where they both matter and don't matter. Like to the individual who's trying to go pros on his last game, yes, they are a risk that maybe does not need to be incurred. But for the team and the program that is trying to improve, that is trying to climb, I believe they matter a great deal. You're telling me it didn't matter to Florida State last night to get to 10 wins, beating Oklahoma to go to 10-3? I think that was massive for Mike Norvell, finding a way to win that game and that Seminole program, just getting that symbolic 10th win on a big stage. You think it didn't matter to Washington last night to beat Texas and finish 11-2? Kalen DeBoer capping off an incredible first year, a Washington team that I believe will have a good chance of finishing in the top 10 now, and likely will be ranked in the preseason top 10. Michael Penix Jr., Washington's quarterback, left out of New York this year. He will be one of the Heisman favorites next year. And the performance last night, the big win over Texas, that goes a long way towards establishing that. Of course, there's Bo Nix and that Oregon team, right? Like there's so many teams that have benefited and gained and started their next season on a positive note by managing to win this exhibition game. And I think LSU's in the exact same boat here. And maybe even unlike some of these schools, there's a very like with an Oregon, I think you got to get a bit more into the context of why that 11th win matters. Bo Nix, like I said, kind of announcing himself that, yeah, I am returning and I am going to be very good still. Dillingham obviously gone for this game. The OC going to Arizona State. Bo Nix still doing fantastic. So you need to dive a bit deeper. With LSU, it's kind of simple. You can just look at the numbers. A win here puts you at 10-4. A very good season. SEC West champion. You hit that 10th win like Florida State did. A very symbolic, unqualified success of a first year from Brian Kelly. A loss here, though. You're 9-5 with a 3-game losing streak tacked on there at the end. That's a bad feeling, and that erases a lot of the goodwill that happened previously, especially when you're talking about a Purdue team that is maybe even more, that is more depleted than you are. No coach, no quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. So I think this matters, and I think you're going to see some new faces this year out of LSU. But again, I like the quote that Brian Kelly had about it, where he described the bowl game as being both the end of this season and the beginning of next. And when viewed through that lens, individually, again, why you understand why this game doesn't matter. On the macro, to the team, to the program, and to the young players, this game absolutely matters, and I believe that it matters a great deal. And so how do you want to start next season? Do you want to start next season on a positive foot and while also ending this year on one? You want to hit 10 wins for Brian Kelly's resume, a bowl win here in year number 1? These are all things that you want. These are all things that over time, when you look back on, help to create legacy. So I think this game matters a great deal. I cannot wait for it. And we'll talk more next. We're going to break here. When we get back, let's talk about who's available for LSU, or maybe who's not available, and then who that pushes in to the 4. So keep it locked right here. We're talking to Jake Hester as well, live from the Fiesta Bowl in about 20 minutes. Keep it locked right here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-8552 is the number, 925-8552. You go to Central Plumbing today and, you can go into Sherman. You actually should probably just call them, whatever the case may be. You have any plumbing issues at your home. They've been at it for 50 years, y'all. The Payne family has. So in that time, they've seen it all. They can fix it all. I don't care if you got like an old house with character. They understand it. I don't care if you got a new house with all the latest tech. I mean, that sucks that you had a problem and something's breaking down, but they understand it. And of course, everybody's licensed, bond, and insured. Flat rate pricing. Means you're not getting hit with any surprise hidden fees that are going to make you angry. And then great warranty once the coverage is done. Now, it's not just if something goes wrong, right? If you want a bathroom remodel, you want to get a tankless water heater, anything like that, like go see what Central Plumbing can offer you. But again, any emergency, 24/7, they're there for you. CentralPlumbing.org, 925-8552, CentralPlumbing.org.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2022 Ford F-150, plus no payments for 90 days and 2.9% APR for 72 months. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m.
Lock Week Friday, presented by Tex Morrison, Edward Jones Investments. We're at Ruffino's. That's right. Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., which includes Handy Tom.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob, the 2022 LAB Prestige Award winner for Best Sports Radio Show, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Todd Hoover says, T-Bob, go in your murder out mini, grab that shot of whiskey. Then Jake left the car, unscrew the top, and down to help your voice. I don't think y'all understand. I don't know that there's any helping in my voice to be had. I haven't even touched anything degenerate in weeks now. No Joes, no cigars, since we haven't had a Don Juan. I haven't even drank like alcohol in like a couple weeks now. When you talk for 4 hours, 5 hours a day, just for work, and then you're only sleeping like 3 hours and you got all these kids, it's sleep is key, dude. I cannot, I told Danny, like, since the birth, and it is what it is. It is what it is. But since the birth, December 2nd, right, I don't think I've had a longer stretch of uninterrupted sleep than 3 hours. So it's not, I'm not saying that for pity points. I'm asking y'all to bear with me, because my voice is not going to get better for a while, especially not when you're like hosted solo and stuff, and you're just constantly having to project and talk. What else we got here? I am going to complete. Watch it. You'll see though. I think my show's going to get a little juice as it goes on here. Survive 623 says Cody Worsham blasted T-Bob last night on Twitter for that Arkansas take. Here, I mean, look, here's the problem. I don't know that I had much of an Arkansas take. I mean, well, to be clear, we're talking about the men's game. The women's team I absolutely thought was going to win, because I don't think you have to know anything, and you just say, I think Coach Mulkey's squad's going to win. And you, more often than not, 99% of the time, will be correct. As far as the men's team goes, it's hard to have a take when you don't know a lot. That's what we talked about yesterday, right? All I'd been hearing is that, like, all you who do think you know LSU basketball, nobody was out here saying positive things, despite the 11-1 record. And if you're saying that you were, I didn't talk to you, or you're lying, because pretty much everybody was saying this team's only going to win like 6 SEC games. And I actually, I maybe have some information that the very person you are claiming that attacked me may have had some similar beliefs to what I just said. So the point is, everybody should just be very excited about this LSU men's basketball team beating the 9th-ranked team in the country when a lot of people thought they had no business doing so, and demanding eyeballs, demanding attention. Ooh, boys, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to the tramp park a lot with the kids this week. Hyperextended knee yesterday. Bad feeling, 33 years old. Do not want to catch a major tramp park injury. All right, let's talk about the bowl game, though. Some of the Citrus Bowl real quick. Talk about who is in, who is out. And as we said, we kind of established the stakes, right? LSU needs to get to 10 wins to make this first Brian Kelly year an unqualified success. It's still a success if you're 9-5. I mean, you beat Alabama. You won the West. These are things that are massive metrics. But I said unqualified, right? And getting to 10 wins would push it across that finish line. And so who will help you in that goal? With Kayshon Boutte leaving, the wide receiver room is pretty thin now. In fact, you're really only looking at Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, and Kyron Lacey as being your available receivers. Now, Landon Ibietta's in there as well. I don't know that you can sit here and say you expect anything from Ibietta necessarily. So you got 3 guys. Now, I love those 3 guys. And outside of Dre Jenkins, Brian Thomas and Malik Neighbors for large parts of this season felt like they were maybe your best receivers. So I'm not overly concerned about that group. In fact, I'm kind of looking forward to that group, and I want to see who's going to make a statement, who's going to step up in Kayshon's absence. Malik Neighbors, somebody who's been excellent all year, and Brian Thomas, again, for much of the year, felt like maybe he could be your best receiver. We'll see if he comes out and has one of those bowl games where, like, it starts the offseason hype train that never slows down over the next few months. Obviously, you're low on receivers. We know you're low on tight ends as well with Cole Taylor transferring. You're basically down to just Mason Taylor there. But still, if healthy and in the game, you would think that he would be a premier target given how down you are at receiver. And here's a little fun fact that I found in a Leah Van piece. If Mason Taylor gets 3 more catches, it'll give him the 2nd most catches for a tight end in LSU history. We're going to talk about a single season. So this season from Taylor has been a bit better than maybe even we realize, especially in the context of how the position has traditionally been at LSU. You're down to only 1 starter on your defensive line. Mekhi Wingo, your All-American, your best guy, which is great. But when you look, Ali Gay, B.J. Ojolari, Jaquelin Roy, all declaring for the NFL, all not playing in this bowl game. So you're going to have guys, whether it's Jacoby and Guillory on the inside, You got to have guys step up. In terms of who's filling in for Ojulari, I think that's quite interesting, right? Because on the depth chart right now, they have an or, where it's basically like they think that two guys is almost a start, and it's Mike Jones Jr. or Quincy Wiggins. And Quincy Wiggins is interesting because he was a former top 100 recruit, supposed to be very, a guy with a ton of potential. And now, thanks to the waiver, he gets an ability to play in a fifth game and play a large role. And again, a guy who maybe, if you go out there and ball on this stage, you start your own hype train for next season, and we spend all offseason talking about how good Quincy Wiggins may end up being. Mike Jones, it's kind of interesting that it's Jones or Wiggins because these are two players at opposite ends of their career. Wiggins at the beginning, trying to make his name. Mike Jones, a senior who seems like he's been playing football forever, has played on the biggest stages, started on great teams, but has struggled to consistently find his way to the field this last couple of years. The thing about Mike Jones is, though, that the staff loves him, right? Like, along with Ali Gay, he was one of those guys that immediately when Brian Kelly came in, he fully bought in, got others to follow, championed the process that Brian Kelly's instituted. If you watched The Follow on LSU Gold, you saw that. He was one of the main voices in that locker room, one of the main voices in that documentary, talking about how, look, there's one quote that sticks with me. He was like, I want to see where LSU's at 4-5 years down the road from the consistent application of this process. So the staff loves him, and the staff tried to get him on the field, but unfortunately it just did not work out. I mean, that's a player who went to SEC Media Days who largely ended up sitting on the bench. So I guess the point of all of this is Mike Jones has been trying to play on the inside. He is clearly out of position on the inside for 2 years now. He has tried to make that happen, and maybe even 3 years now, and it's just not going to happen. Maybe there's more of a role at this jack position, right? Maybe he can have more of an impact. Maybe it can be it can create more consistent playing time for him. I mean, again, the coaches would love to if he can hold up his end of the deal and demand that playing time. On Xavier Carter, someone to watch as well. He had a good game against New Mexico. Young cat, we'll see how he does. Savion Jones is going to be relied upon to have a big game here in replacing Ali Gay. He is a freshman who was fantastic a lot of times this year, really flashed on film in a limited sample size. Well, guess what? You are the man now. You are going to have to set this edge that game. Excited to see how Savion Jones is. One guy from the secondary who is going pro but still playing in this game, Jay Ward. And it's interesting that he chose to play in this game as he will not be playing the position that he had been used to playing this season. Played a lot of nickel corner this year. He will be moving back to the outside with Mekhi Gardner declaring early for the draft and going ahead and getting ready. It means there's an opening out there, so your corners on the outside are going to be Jarek Bernard-Converse and Jay Ward, which is probably a potential benefit for Ward here to get to play corner in this game, show some more film. I mean, he has played all over the place when you look at in his career, and so showing his versatility is probably going to help him with NFL scouts. So if they're on the outside, who's going to be your nickelback? Well, you're fine there. You got a few options. Major Burns listed as a starter. You got Greg Brooks. You got Sage Ryan. So I'm not overly worried about the secondary. And really, that's kind of it. I mean, your O-line is fine. The running back room is fine. Linebacker. So even though you have a lot of absences, they're either at positions where you have talent, or if it's something like the LSU D-line, where I think you're going to be very light at D-line, at the end of the day, they're just major questions about whether or not Purdue is going to be able to take advantage of any of this. Because when you look at Purdue, like you think LSU's opt-outs are bad, maybe LSU might have a higher volume of guys skipping the bowl game or declaring for the NFL, but they don't have a higher quality of guys, as Purdue had basically all of their best players announced that they are foregoing this Citrus Bowl. Of course, there's the quarterback, Aiden O'Connell, who's been there forever, former walk-on who rose to the top. Went through tragedy recently, losing his brother, stuck with his team, finished it out, wins the Big Ten West. Aiden O'Connell's fantastic. He's not playing in this game. He is their unquestioned leader of this team. Their tight end, Payne Durham, a cat who had 56 catches for over 500 yards and 8 touchdowns, not playing. in this game. And then maybe most impactfully, especially with a secondary, we're going to have at least one guy playing a position that he's not wholly used to, Charlie Jones, a wide receiver who led all of FBS with 110 catches. Charlie Jones had 1,361 yards, 12 touchdowns to lead the Big Ten. He, too, has opted out and going to the NFL. They left their head coach and Jeff Brom. His brother Brian Brom is now the interim coach. I'm imagining Brian Brom will directly leave after this game and go join Jeff Brom at Louisville. So the bottom line is, with all the LSU opt-outs, there is no excuse. Okay, this is a Purdue team that is suffering worse from opt-outs. They don't have a head coach. They have even less motivation to win this game. There is no 10th win dangling in front of their face. Brian Kelly, the bowl process, winning bowl games matters for us. Like, LSU must win this game come Monday. And we will continue to break it down. So we're going to get into some of the other bowl games here in a bit. Coming up next, we're going to talk to Jake Hester, Jeff Duncan coming up at 8 a.m. We still got a lot of Pelicans to talk as well. If you're in the Bayou Ford YouTube chat, what's up, man? Get your comments in there. We'll get to the best ones. We'll do Ask the Bench at the end of the show. Hit the like button, subscribe. And let's go ahead and get in touch with our guy, Jake Hester, over there at the Fiesta Bowl next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Riverlands Insurance, riverlandsinsurance.com. Call up Thomas and make an email today, man, and let them get you right. Look, I love Riverlands Insurance because of just how easy it is. You reap the benefits, but you don't really do any of the work. Like, Riverlands Insurance right now is one of the fastest growing insurance companies in the entire South. In fact, for the state of Louisiana, nobody writes more progressive policies than does Riverlands. And the point is not to say that, look, they have access to all the major companies. The point is they are growing rapidly. And the only way you do that is if your customers, your clients are pleased. And why wouldn't you be? You call up Thomas today. I don't care if it's home insurance, auto insurance, business, whatever the case may be. He asks for a couple of pieces of information. You give it to him. And then, well, what do you know? He comes back with a policy with great coverage. It saves you money and you benefit. Go to Riverlands Insurance. Riverlands Insurance.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Nearly half of children in foster care drop out of school. But you can rewrite that story. Children and youth with CASA and GAL volunteers are more likely to succeed in school. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the
Week 17 in the NFL. Tune in on Sunday as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the Carolina Panthers at noon, right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Danny, is this on the New Year's playlist here? Little Call on Me? Or is it all Bad Bunny?
No, this is on New Year's playlist.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Love it. Love it. Getting hyped up for this weekend. I'm pretty excited for today. I'm going to have a bit of a, I'm going to have one of my first, well, no, it's not one of my first major dad tests. It is my latest dad test. Wife's a wedding photographer, meaning over the years I've gotten very used to, these solo days from beginning to end with the kids. It was real easy with one. We ain't sweating it with two. Today I'm a bit intrigued to see how it's going to go with the two girls and the newborn, but I'm excited. I think of it like working out. Only for dad skills. So I will report back come Monday. Emil McClellan in the chat saying, this game is a great chance for a great evaluation piece for Ryan Walters. That's Purdue's new coach and his new crew. They've already found their QB of the future in Hudson Card. I do actually, I'm not the biggest Hudson Card guy, but I think he performed a bit better than maybe I gave him credit for when you look at what he did for Texas this year. And then him reunited with Graham Harrell, who Ryan Walters hired as the DC up there, I do think is very interesting, right? And I agree with the idea that it's a great chance for Walters to evaluate what he has going into next year. But unfortunately, Walters, Card, and Graham Harrell don't factor in to this game. Boys, did y'all watch any of the bowl games last night? Did you watch it's something that LSU fans should, expect because it's coming on Monday. Did you see His Grace, Prince Chedward, handing out awards after the game yesterday? Have you seen the Cheez-Its mascot, Prince Chedward, Danny? You have not. Oh, wow, you somehow avoided him. He's fantastic. He truly is. He's up there with Sneak King as maybe one of my favorite ever mascots that's been created. Well, I guess Sneak King was a video game. There he is. Look at my guy. Royalty in the flesh. The prince of the land of the Cheez-It crackers. Hopefully, Prince Chedward will be crowning Brian Kelly come Monday. What else did we see here that I wanted to get to? As I fill time before Jake gets here. I can't see it. By the way, we did just get confirmation that we're going to get Kim Mulkey in here at 8:30, so very excited about that. Talked to Coach Mulkey after the huge win for the LSU women's basketball team last night. They were absolutely fantastic. I mean, they took that Arkansas team, a good, ranked Arkansas team in Bud Walton, and they did not allow the crowd to get into it. Like, that's a hostile environment, and when you go on the road, and granted, LSU were the favorites, so, the favorites need to win, but how are upsets affected? You let a team that's not as good as you hang around, you let them get confidence, you let their crowd get into it, especially in a place like that, and all of a sudden you find yourself out there in deep water, and you're kind of struggling a little bit to stay afloat. That never happened last night. Like, LSU choked them out from the beginning of the game. I think it was something like 25 or 26 offensive boards. Coach Mulkey's squad, absolutely fantastic last night in the win. So excited to talk to her about that. I thought the bowl games last night were fantastic as well, as Washington ends up beating Texas 27-20, and FSU and Mike Norvell come up with a huge win over Brent Venables and Oklahoma, 35-32. Real quick on the Texas front, and we'll probably go more in depth to this a bit later on. Try calling Jake again, Mario, too, and see if you can get him. But real quick on the Texas-Washington front. First off, I don't know why this is, but Washington being good feels great for college football. And Kalen DeBoer is a hell of a coach and has done a hell of a job up there this year, going from 4 wins to now 11. From 4 to 11. And I think that kind of turnaround is important because it's going to reinforce the point that I'm about to make about Texas and Sarkisian. In Kalen DeBoer, you have a coach that is clearly elevating his team. And now, granted, one of the reasons why is because he has Michael Penix Jr., and Michael Penix Jr. is awesome, the quarterback for the Huskies. He's so much fun to watch. He's a lefty. I'm a lefty. I love watching lefties. But probably my favorite part about Penix, he just has a chaotic energy to him. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's his throwing motion. Lefties always look a bit odd. His ability to grip it and rip it and the chances that he takes, he's just got a chaotic energy. And so Washington getting to 11 wins and winning the game with a 14-play, 90-yard drive to go up 27-10 at the beginning of the fourth quarter. That's a dominant statement. So congratulations to them. But then you look at the other side of the ball, and it's just Texas being Texas. And I want to keep track of something here. I've got some nascent numbers here. These are numbers that are maybe interesting right now. They're not anything to write home about yet, but the reason why I want to look at them early is because I believe they will grow into being a talking point, a major talking point eventually. And look, what does everybody love doing when you think about Texas A&M this year? What was one of the most fun stats and numbers games we played every single week? It was Fisher-Sumlin, right? Where you look at Jimbo Fisher's record through X amount of games and you look at Kevin Sumlin's record and you laugh because Kevin Sumlin was better, even though all A&M fans hated him and ran him out of town and paid Jimbo Fisher, the moon. Jimbo Fisher is actually worse. Well, be on the lookout. Sark Herman is the little brother of Fisher-Sumlin. Now, we'll see, again, we got to watch this play out over time. But the beginning here is interesting. Here is Tom Herman's record as the Texas head coach. When he took over in year number 1, took over from a bad Charlie Strong team, he went 7-6. They won the Texas Bowl. He followed that up the next year, 10-4, winning the Sugar Bowl. We're back. Remember all that? The season after that, no doubt a step back. 8-5. They did win the Alamo Bowl. And then the year after that, in 2020 in the pandemic, the year in which he would end up getting fired, 7-3 with another Alamo Bowl win. He gets fired. Sark takes over. So Sark takes over a team that just went 7-3, and then he then goes 5-7. No bowl game. This season, a couple of nice wins, but more bitterly disappointing losses. And then losing in the Alamo Bowl last night means that you have a Texas team that just went 8-5. So right now, in 2 years, Sarkisian, despite taking over a much better team than Tom Herman took over, is just 13-12 in those 2 years. On the other hand, Tom Herman was 32-18, 4-0 in bowl games. Sark, 13-12. 0-1 in bowl games, did not even qualify in year number 1. And again, the key here, Sark's first year, that 5-7, is less understandable than most. Like if you took an awful 2-11 team, you go 5-7, that's a success. That's literal numerical improvement. To take over a team that won an Alamo Bowl, went 7-3, and then go 5-7, what's the excuse? I mean, you have a supremely talented team, and this is where we get to the real heart of the issue, which is the lack of development at Texas is truly shocking. And at the end of the day, it looks like what you see is a coaching staff that rather than elevating its talent, like you're seeing out of Kalen DeBoer and Washington and Michael Penix and everybody last night, instead of elevating its talent, I would argue that Steve Sarkisian is a drag on the Texas talent right now. And let's just, a great way to kind of frame this is, I think, by looking at the 247 composite talent rankings. This looks at the roster, looks at where everybody ranked coming out of high school, and, 5-star, 4-star, all that stuff, and just gives you an idea of who has the most talent. Now, if you're like, T-Bob, well, that's stupid. High school recruiting doesn't matter. Let me read you the top 10. Because when I read the top 10, you're going to see most of these teams are great. There are a few teams that aren't, and those are the teams that we rip on mightily. And we rip on their coaches, because you should. Number 1 on this list, Alabama. Okay. Number 2 on this list, Georgia. Yep. Number 3 on this list, Ohio State. All teams very good. New Year's Six, playoff, et cetera. Number 4 on this list, Texas A&M. Why does Jimbo Fisher get made fun of so much? Why does he get ripped on so much? Because this is an abject failure. To do what Texas A&M did this year and be 4th behind Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio State, you're not just doing a bad job coaching, you're doing an awful job. You are a literal ballast around the team's necks. Great job at recruiting, awful job at developing, at getting anything out of those players on the field. 5th on this list, Clemson, still pretty damn good. Okay, I'm fascinated to see what Clemson, Tennessee is going to be like. 6th on this list, Texas will return to that. 7th, Oregon, look at them, great, 11-2. 8th, LSU, chance to get 10 wins the SEC West. 9th, Oklahoma. Again, this is why I'm so down on Venables, because they are vastly more talented than the entire Big 12 schedule that they played, and yet they did awful, and they lose to a Florida State team they're more talented than last night. Brent Venables has no excuse for having the bad year that he had. He has no excuse for having such a bad defense with the talent that he has. And then number 10 on this list, Notre Dame, who I think most would say this ended up being a successful year for Notre Dame, though maybe those waters are a bit more muddy. So the point of all this is that the coaches who are doing their job on this list are benefiting off of this talent, and they're playing in big-time games, and they're reaching great heights. You have a few that are dragging down. Jimbo Fisher, Brent Venables, and Steve Sarkisian there at number 6. Look at Texas' losses on the year. In their 5 losses. Let's look at where the opponents that they lost to rank on this talent composite. You have Oklahoma State that beat Texas. Oklahoma State's ranked 40th. TCU beat Texas. TCU ranked 32nd. Shout out Sonny Dykes, elevating his team. Texas Tech beat Texas. Texas Tech is ranked 45th on the talent composite. They did a great job though this year. Alabama's first, that is what it is, and Washington is 20th. And unless you say, okay, well, let's play that game for LSU. Okay, let's do it. LSU ranks 8th. Florida State, you lost to them, they're 17th. A&M, you lost to them, they're 4th. Tennessee, they're 19th. You lost to them, UGA is 2nd. You lost to all top 20 teams. Texas is out here losing to teams that aren't even in the top 40. I'm not sold on Steve Sarkisian at all. Now, maybe Arch Manning ends up being the answer. But the problem is, I don't know how you can sit here and say that you expect him to be the answer when Texas has been recruiting at an elite level for years now. I mean, just look at the 6th ranking there in the talent composite and just cannot get those guys to produce or win games. All right, let's go to break, and when we get back, we'll wrap up hour 1.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GEAUXroof.com, GEAUXroof.com, 927-8300, 927-8300 is the number. You get that free professional estimate from Go Roof, figure out exactly what's going on, what's a healthier roof. Maybe you're good to go. You got a clean bill health. Maybe it's a big problem, small problem. It doesn't matter. You figure that information out for free. You get an idea what it's like to work with Go Roof, the professionalism, who's coming out to your home. And what you're going to learn is that you get a beautiful new roof every shingle time. And look, if it's a big job and insurance covers it, great. But if not, don't worry. They'll work with you to find monthly payment options to do. They just want to make sure that you're taken care of, man. And what I love is, look, of course, everybody's licensed, bond, insured, duh. But the best part is that they want you to have peace of mind after work is done, that you're not getting some shoddy job, right? So they offer a 2-year workmanship guarantee on top of the manufacturer warranty. They go out of their way to do that for you. Beautiful new roof every shingle time. Roofs up from Go Roof.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Corval Toyota Annapolis is here to help you ring in the new year with no markup, and you'll never pay over MSRP. And we have new inventory arriving daily. So Happy New Year from our Corval Toyota family to yours.
My dad just really enjoyed his life, and he enjoyed smoking cigars and thought he was invincible. My stepdad quit smoking, and he really felt like he was in the clear. Sorry. I wish they would have been screened annually. It's not just you affect, it's your entire family.
For more information on Ochsner's free smoking cessation program and to see if you qualify for early lung screenings, visit ochsner.org/quit.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
You ever heard the tale of the misunderstood bull? A menacing beast that was born to float. A force of nature. The embodiment of grace. Quite grand, yet quiet and nimble. The Infiniti QX80.
Experience the Infiniti QX80 at your local Infiniti retailer.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank.
So join us for Friday's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Mario and I guest host and send you into the new year talking LSU Purdue, Saints Eagles, Pels Sixers. Friday's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Esther and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Danny, is this on the New Year's playlist? Some white boy stuff right there, Danny. Let's go to the Jim's Fire in the Net hotline. We got our guy Jake Hester live from the Fiesta Bowl. Jake, what's happening, man?
Hey, what's going on? Bringing me back with the whitest song of all time.
Yep.
Not sure what that's about, Danny, but
White Boy Gang.
Glad to be here. Glad to be on. Glad to be with the boys.
Yeah, man. So, what's going? How's the Fiesta Bowl prep going? Are you getting excited? What's it like? You set the scene. Give us the news. All the hot deets. How did this 6.5 hour show go yesterday?
It was certainly 6.5 hours. Michigan decided to change the schedule on us multiple times here, but I tell you what, it's been kind of funny because normally see when you do these things, I mean, it's packed. And certainly like a player like a Max Duggan is going to have a table. It's going to be like a rugby scrum. There's going to be so many people that are trying to get one question in, but there's not a lot of national media here covering this one. I don't know if it's because of the flight situation, if it's easier for the East Coast media to get to Atlanta, if they're saving their trip to SoFi here for the national championship, but there's just not a lot of presence here. And so, like, I walked up and got like 4 or 5 questions pop right off with Max Duggan, who finished second in the Heisman Trophy race. And so that to me has been a little surprising because normally, like I said, these media days are just absolute mayhem. But even for Michigan, so it wasn't just like a TCU thing. I mean, we walked up, got Jim Harbaugh, had a conversation with him yesterday as well. So I've been a little surprised by that. Now, I will say the Fiesta Bowl does everything first class. And so it's been a great experience. I was here with LSU in 2018, and this bowl game might do it better than anyone.
Well, we'll talk about it. You say first class. The Fiesta Bowl trophy alone is worth $2.5 million. I just learned that yesterday. The football on top is $1 million alone, thanks to over 2,200 diamonds. Yes.
Okay, so I didn't know that. That
Yes.
would have been good information to have yesterday because I certainly would have Italian jobbed that trophy.
Okay,
without
wow.
question.
Okay, perfect, dude. I have it right here in the doc that like my immediate reaction to hearing that about the trophy was that I need a like satirical spoof heist movie where some college football fans Ocean's 11 the Fiesta Bowl trophy. Like I need Spencer Hall to start to write it and make it a reality. Okay, so we're on the same page there, Jake.
Yes. I mean, I didn't have a mini coupe handy, but now that I know how much it's worth, I would at least try to like.
Well, we just got to play. We got to plan for
and get
next
out of
year.
here.
We got to plan for next year, right?
Okay.
We got to have a fake diamond football, a cubic zirconium football, ready to replace it with, and we can do this. After media day, have your opinions changed? Yesterday, it seemed like we were on the same page. We think that Michigan beats TCU. Did you learn anything yesterday, or any vibes, or anything that maybe shifted that?
Well, I think TCU certainly, they deserve to be here. They feel like they deserve to be here. They feel like the underdog. They feel like they have the chip on their shoulder, all the cliches we've heard from them all season long. And I think they're ready for this game, T. I think they'll show up. I think it's going to be a 4-quarter contest. But I do think Michigan being here last year, going through the prep of what it's like to practice and get ready for a college football playoff semifinal is going to really bode well for them because they're not treating it like a bowl game. They're treating it like, hey, this is a business trip, and then if we win this one, then we can have the end-of-the-year party at SoFi Stadium. I mean, you talk to their players, there's not been a lot of sightseeing. They're not going to go hike Camelback Mountain. I mean, they are practicing ball. They're worried about it. They're watching tape. They're meeting all day. Now, can it be too much? Yeah, you and I play with teams that probably done it too much. But I think it's more of a, hey, last year we didn't handle this the right way, and this year we're doing it, and the team has bought in to doing that, knowing that if they win, they can have their fun in Los Angeles in a couple of weeks.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, I actually don't think it's too tight for Michigan. I think this is a team that has been on a very clear mission since January, and that was to win a national championship, and they fully believe they can, and they are here on the cusp of it. Jake, did you have any great takeaways from last night? Washington beating Texas, Florida State capping off a nice 10-3 year over Oklahoma.
Yeah, I thought Florida State winning really sets up that matchup next year in Orlando for Florida State and LSU. Certainly, if LSU is able to win their game against Purdue, it's going to be one of those talked about off-season games that we cover every single angle. Not like if we weren't even an LSU show, we would do that because I think it's going to be a top 15 matchup. So I'm actually excited that they won that game because now that really makes that game truly special. And then when you look at Washington, no surprise. I told you, if there's a 12-team playoff, that is the last team that I would want to face right now. With the way Michael Penix is playing, that offense is humming, and they've got something really brewing there as well. That's a team to watch out for. The whole Pac-12, I'd love to have that conversation next week when we reconvene. The Pac-12's got some real juice to them right now. As far as other bowl takeaways, real quick, I know we were about to go.
Yeah, you got a minute.
Ole Miss is in trouble. Ole Miss is in some real – I mean, they've lost 4 in a row. They've lost 5 of 6. They came into Baton Rouge undefeated, got smoked in that game, and they have not looked the same. You can blame it on the Lane Kiffin rumors, but that game that I just saw against an average Texas Tech team, if I'm Mincy and I'm an Ole Miss fan, I am worried about the direction of the program because they've gotten beaten not just like 4 times in a row, 5 or 6. Like they've gotten crushed really in all those games. Even when the score was close, it didn't look like it only all 22. And so Ole Miss might actually be in some trouble, and that's something to definitely pay attention to in the offseason.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, I think the bottom line is they just actually weren't good this year. It was kind of the thing that. I mean, we knew their schedule was going to line them up for 7-0, and then you were going to see if they were real or not. And the absence of Matt Corral sorely felt. Well, Jake, you have a great day, man. Have a great show. Enjoy the Fiesta Bowl, and we'll reconvene with you on Monday.
All right, look forward to it. See you, fellas.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com for your AC, heating, and electrical needs. 60-degree swings going on right now here. I mean, from like 20 to now 80. You got the AC back on. It's raining and storming out there today. Again, AC, heating, anything electrical. Accutemp's there for you, and their tagline is service to the highest degree. But on top of being punny, they mean that. Like they truly mean that. Go look at the online reviews. Go look at the Google reviews. They have a 4.9 rating with over 1,000 reviews. You don't stumble into that accidentally, okay? And so that's kind of where their core ethos is built. And so when you work with Accutemp, like, don't even take my word for it. Just do it once. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Don't thank me. Thank Accutemp. Go to Accutemp of Baton Rouge, AccutempBR.com, AccutempBR.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Black Widow Jeep Gladiators in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
We get it done with strength, commitment, dedication, grit. We get it done with passion for our fans and love for our community. We are the Tigers. Get it done.
Let the values of the purple and gold be in your starting lineup this season. And as always, get it done.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Friday, December 30th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge. Expect clear skies with a high of 68. Coming up on OTB, Jeff Duncan joins the show up next to talk Saints, and we make some picks in the Degen Dome at 9:15. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome into hour number 2 of OTB. Hope you're having a great morning. Stay safe, stay dry. It's a little wet, a little nasty out there. Sounds like a perfect day for maybe a movie, right? I mean, maybe head to the theater, support your local theater. I'm kind of bummed, man. I think little baby Bobby's going to ruin my chance of seeing Avatar 2 in theaters, which is like all I really care about with Avatar 2. Like, I don't care about the stories. I don't know that I even care that much about watching at home. I just wanted to see it in a premiere theater. So, sucks. You know who doesn't suck? One of my favorite people in the world, and that's Jeff Duncan. Legendary, NOLA.com, Times-Picayune columnist, been at it for many years, an expert on the entirety of the New Orleans sports scene. And it's kind of where we want to start today, as there's a lot going on this weekend. Jeff, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining us, as always, man. Always there for us.
Anytime, brother. Yeah, big weekend. Excited about the Sugar Bowl tomorrow. Lots of football, and obviously the Pels making a big run here, winning 4 in a row. So it's a good time to be in New Orleans.
Yeah, so it's like, okay, yeah, so there's the Sugar Bowl, obviously, Alabama, Kansas State coming to town. The Saints will not be playing in New Orleans, but right, Saints Eagles, that's a game that has a lot of narrative implications floating throughout the air, as well as draft implications. The Pels got a massive game against the Sixers tonight. Then they got Ja and Memphis tomorrow. Tulane, again, not in New Orleans, but Tulane taking on USC come Monday in the Cotton Bowl. It is a packed weekend of action. Let's start with the Pelicans, Jeff. It's been an interesting couple of weeks where you go on the huge winning streak to rise to the top of the Western Conference. You lose some bodies. You lose 4 in a row. And at that point, it would have been all too easy to fall back to earth when you didn't have Zion, Trey Murphy, Herb, like the list goes on and on. You basically didn't have any of your best players. And yet, what did the Pelicans do? They respond. They manage to create another streak out of thin air. They win 3 in a row. Zion returns, rests a 4th win in a row, just away from the Minnesota Timberwolves. What have you learned after this recent run about this New Orleans Pelicans team?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious, T-Bob, that the depth on this team is much improved over any previous team that they've had. They have quality depth. They can withstand the inherent injuries that an NBA season is going to bring. I mean, Brandon Ingram's missed, 3-4 weeks or something like that? And they continue to thrive. And the other thing I think that's really developed here, and I think this was inevitable, but the team is becoming Zion Williamson's team.
Yeah.
I think that was very important for it to happen. We're seeing him take over, become the alpha, and everyone recognizing it. Even an old head like C.J. McCollum is understanding it's not the big 3, it's going to be Zion's team. And I think that's the best thing that can happen for this organization. For a long time, if you remember when Zion came in, there was this talk of, it's Drew Holiday's team, and then it's B.I. and Zion, and it's going to be Zion's team. And I think we're seeing it right now before our eyes.
Well, and I wanted to ask you about the McCollum quote specifically, because to me, McCollum very much is that, that savvy vet, almost like the John the Baptist, right? He is not the savior, but he understands the game. He can see who maybe is the savior. And I love the interaction that we learned about where Zion told us that CJ told him in the huddle, look, man, you want to be great? Like, this is the time to do it. It feels like McCollum, and it's so satisfying given the storyline that this all started with the drama about him and CJ not even talking. Again, you've seen so much of this over the years covering sports, Jeff. What does that relationship mean to you, and how effective do you think? Like, what role has CJ McCollum played in helping Zion to achieve new levels of stardom and dominance?
Well, I think he's bolstered his confidence. One of the things that's interesting, I think, T-Bob, about Zion Williamson is we don't know a whole lot about his personality. There's not been a whole lot done about how he's wired, and I think it's clear he's kind of a fit-in type of personality, and they can't have that. I mean, he is the most physically dominant player they have. He has to be wired to be the alpha, to be the dog, and take over. And I think for a long time he's wanted to respect Brandon Ingram and C.J. McCollum, and I think that message the other night from McCollum was, hey, dude, take over. We need you to take over. It's okay. Do it. And gave him the confidence to do it. And that's what this team needs, because Zion naturally, I think he wants to fit in with his teammates. He's very much a kind of a servant leader and a guy that wants to be part of the team, not the alpha. And it's going to have to transform, and I think we're seeing it right now.
Jeff, let's shift to the NFL. Talk to Jeff Duncan at Jeff Duncan _ on Twitter. Let's shift to the NFL and talk a little Saints, but not Saints-Eagles. Let's talk about the old rumor mill, because something that you have written about and that we talked to you about just a couple of weeks ago, this idea of a potential Sean Payton return in New Orleans. Someone continues to stoke those flames, right? I don't know what the end game is. I still don't, we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out, how legitimate it is. But the latest rumors got a little extra juicy as now Tom Brady has reportedly entered the picture, according to Florio and Pro Football Talk. Brady and Peyton are two guys that have seemingly, or rumored to have tried to link up multiple different times in the past. Do you think it's realistic? Like, is there a shot that the New Orleans Saints next year could have Sean Payton as head coach and Tom Brady as starting quarterback?
Well, I think it's a complicated situation here in New Orleans. In my initial reporting and my initial column on this situation was basically to inform people that Sean Payton was open to coming back to New Orleans, that he would consider it. I don't think a lot of people knew that. Now, Definitely. Is it going to happen? I think all along I've said very unlikely, but it could. And I think people needed to understand that. Everything I'm hearing, the team is very happy with the last couple of weeks. And if this thing would have fallen apart, T-Bob, and the team would have finished the season on a 6-game losing streak, then I think we'd have a different dynamic here. But the team has fought back the last couple of weeks. They're playing hard, and I think ownership and management's happy with the direction under Dennis Allen. I think they feel a little bit of an obligation to give him a chance beyond one season. That's just not how Gail Benson and Mickey Loomis operate. They're very loyal supporters of someone like Dennis Allen. That said, Sean Payton is going to probably coach somewhere next year. I don't think it's a done deal that he coaches, because there's not a lot of attractive options right now. And he's going to find a quarterback. I mean, I've had conversations with him. This guy is not worried about finding a quarterback. He's going to get one. I mean, he's a confident guy. There's a good free agent market, including Tom Brady, including Jimmy Garoppolo, who he's always been a fan of. They wanted to draft Jimmy Garoppolo years ago. They went to the same college, Eastern Illinois. Tom Brady and Sean Payton have the same agent, Don Yee, so there's a connection there. Yeah, he's going to find somebody. I don't necessarily think it's Brady. It could be, but Brady's a sexy name and drives traffic, so you throw it in there, and it almost happened here.
Yeah.
We reported on that back in 2020. I mean, it was going to happen if Drew would have retired. Tom Brady would have come to New Orleans. That was a done deal.
Yeah.
So it's obvious it could happen, but there's a lot of moving parts here, and I think it's a very fluid situation. And I don't think it's beyond possibility that he sits out next year because nothing really attractive opens up on the market.
How are you feeling about Saints-Eagles on Sunday? Jalen Hurts obviously kind of up in the air. Again, the Saints' playoff hopes are not really there, but narratively, right? A lot of frustration in this relationship, as you've seemingly propped up the Eagles time and time again. The CD Deuce trade, probably the most egregious in a lot of Saints fans' minds. And now the Eagles have an opportunity not to just beat you, but to improve their own draft pick while beating you.
Well, I think a lot of it comes down to who plays quarterback for the Eagles. Looks like it's going to be Gardner Minshew, but
okay,
it looks like they're leaning that way. Even though Hurts came back yesterday, I expect them to rest Hurts. And look, this is a tough matchup for the Saints. There's no doubt about it. Losing to the Cowboys last week didn't help matters because the Eagles are going to be all in. They're motivated. This is a place the Saints traditionally have struggled. I think they've lost 3 in a row in Philly. I think they've only won like 3 or 4 games there all time in like 15 contests. So everything's stacked against them. And to me, the key to this game, the only chance the Saints have is if they can protect Andy Dalton. I mean, this is a team coming in with 60 sacks, T-Bob. But they're on course. I mean, they could actually break the NFL record set by those great Bears, the Buddy Ryan Bears, 72 sacks. I mean, it would take 6 sacks a game, but the last 3 games they've had 6 sacks in each of those games. They got to protect Dalton. He's not mobile, and if they give him time, I think they can hang in there with him. And if they can get a few turnovers too, Minshew will throw the ball into coverage. We saw it last week against the Cowboys. So they could hang with this, but if it doesn't happen, if they can't win the trenches, I think it could be ugly. That's just my opinion.
Jeff, last one here, and then we'll let you go. I know that obviously being an expert in all New Orleans sports, you've covered this Tulane team. You know what this Tulane rise means to the city. What do you think, man? Tulane taking on USC, which, again, at the beginning of the year, if you just said that Tulane was going to be in the Cotton Bowl taking on USC, that's not something that a lot of people would have thought was even in the realm of possibility. And maybe even crazier, the Trojans, despite having the Heisman winner, Lincoln Riley, all this offensive firepower, only 1.5-point favorites here, Jeff. How are you feeling about the Green Wave going into Monday?
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this game. Just to see Tulane on the same field as a storied blue blood power like the Southern Cal Trojans. I mean, this is going to be amazing. Willie Fritz has done an incredible job. Their coaching staff. I would not underestimate Tulane because this game's going to mean a lot more to them than it will to Southern Cal.
Fair.
But I think it helps Southern Cal's chances because Lincoln Riley's in his first year. The last thing he wants to do, with all the momentum they've mustered, they have a great recruiting class coming in, is to stub their toe in the Cotton Bowl. So motivation is going to be a big key. Tulane's going to have a huge contingent there. I've heard they've sold way more tickets than Southern Cal. That's understandable. I think, to me, this game comes down to one simple thing. Can Tulane keep pace? Because Southern Cal is going to get their points. Lincoln Riley's a brilliant offensive mind. Caleb Williams, they're going to score. Can Tulane score enough to keep up with them? I think it's going to be an entertaining game. But I would be surprised if Southern Cal lost to Tulane in this game. But I would not discount Willie Fritz in any way. He'll pull out the gunslinger. They'll fake something. They'll go for broke in this game because they know the platform and what it could mean to the program.
Well, and Jeff, I lied. I got to get one more take out of you. Citrus Bowl coming up, LSU getting ready for Purdue. We all know about the Drew Brees angle here. How much do you think this game matters for Brian Kelly here in year one?
Well, I think it's important. I mean, he's already established that they are a very competent coaching staff. We saw the improvement all season long. I think the signature win against Alabama pretty much established his bona fides. Nobody's questioning that hire now, right?
Yeah, fair.
And now it's a matter of building on that. Now, the recruiting class, I think, did it. Now you add the exclamation point. You win this game. You win it authoritatively. They should win this game. And the one thing I like about Brian Kelly, he's very even keel. He reminds me a lot of like a Saban in that he's not up or down. And let's face it, in this state, T-Bob, we need somebody like that to steady because we're always up and down, right?
Fair.
And I think that's a good thing. And so I think he has teams ready. Like that Arkansas game impressed me. That was a classic trap game.
Yeah.
A lot of LSU teams would have lost that game. And they grounded out. They didn't play great. They won the game. That's what you have to do in the course of the season. You know, you played. It's ebbs and flows, emotional highs and lows in a season. And it's easy to lose a game like that. That was, to me, one of the more impressive wins they had, even though it didn't look that way on paper. This game reminds me of that. I think they'll be ready to play. They win, and then they go into this offseason with tons of momentum.
Jeff Duncan, Times-Picayune, one of my favorite writers ever, at Jeff Duncan _ on Twitter. Jeff, thank you so much, man.
Anytime, T-Bob. Have a great weekend, buddy.
Yeah, you have a great weekend as well, man. All right, when we get back, we'll do a bit of a shorter segment, and then we're going to go talk to Coach Kim Mulkey as the LSU women's basketball team dominant in their SEC debut last night, beating a very good ranked Arkansas team. More coming up next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Sitting there, bit anxious, bit unsure about what the future holds. Maybe a general dissatisfaction with your current lot in life. You're working jobs, but you worry about the future. I want a career. Well, guess what? There's a local family-owned trade school right here in Baton Rouge that has been changing lives for the better and giving out careers for 50 years. ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu. There's a ton of great advantages to ITI, not the least of which, you're talking about classes 4 days a week, daytime, nighttime. It doesn't matter. They can work around your schedule to make it work. In just 2 years, you get that AOS degree that's going to prepare you for careers relevant to Louisiana's needs. After you graduate, they can help assist you in getting those careers. So change your life for the better. Invest in yourself. Act now. Go to ITI Technical College, iticollege.edu.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2022 Ford F-150. Plus, no payments for 90 days and 2.9% APR for 72 months. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Miller Lite has more taste and only 1 more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys.
Midweek Friday presented by Tex Morris and Edward Jones Investments. We're at Rufino's. That's right. Game Time presented by Bet Rivers on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., which includes Handy Tom.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
I just opened chat for the first time in a while, and the first thing I say is it sad or okay that I've been living at Twin Peaks all week? I've literally been there every day.
If you need somewhere to watch the games, it's not that bad. Like, not a lot of people have access to all the games.
True.
A lot of
Feels
sports.
a bit like a plausible deniability situation there, Mario.
Could be.
I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. You're very horny right now. I'm not going to name names, but if you were going to Twin Peaks every single day, if you're going to any horny restaurant every single day, any cleavage restaurant, you're overly horny.
Hey, man, it's just the lodge mentality.
End of the year, maybe you got a lot of backup or something going on. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with it. Again, there is nothing wrong with it, but I do think it's a sign of maybe a greater symptom that you maybe do a bonk. Your H levels are a bit out of control. They're spinning wildly out of control. But hey, enjoy it, man. Enjoy the scenic views. Okay. I hope you do. I want to talk about the Pelicans real quick. Pelicans returning action tonight. Going to be in that Smoothie King Center Friday night. The Wednesday crowd was elite against the T-Wolves. So what happens then on a Friday when Joel Embiid and the Philadelphia 76ers come to town? A very good Joel Embiid and Sixers team. It should be an elite crowd tonight, and it's a great. Well, Mara, you have highlighted a tweet that really drives home just how incredible the last year has been. This is a tweet from October 22nd, 2021. It comes from Scott Kushner. So a little over a year ago. And it's Joel Embiid on ESPN. And I don't know how it came up, but basically it said, was it the first game of the season?
Yes, it was a season opener for both teams.
So a season opener for both teams in the Smoothie King Center. It was on a Wednesday last year. And Joel Embiid told ESPN that, he looked around the arena and, quote, it would be hard to play at a place like that. Talking about how empty the Smoothie King Center was, the lack of juice. And he would go on to talk about how he feeds off of the energy in Philly. So, and I agree with Joel Embiid. Like, there were many years there where you would see some of these games and you would just feel sad for the guys out there in that you had to create your own juice. It was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. There was just nobody in the stands. And so now, just a little over a year later, a year and 2 months, the fact that you have a Wednesday night Smoothie King Center against the T-Wolves, filled to the brim, going crazy, making it hard on the opponent, there's probably no greater testament to the rise of the New Orleans Pelicans than that difference right there. And so if you're going to the game tonight, I would challenge you to make it hard on Joel Embiid. Not that Joel Embiid did anything wrong. I think he just told the truth, right? But I would say show him how much it has changed in that year and 2 months. Show him just how brutal of a place it can be to play in when the crowd is as locked in as they have been here recently. Mar, are you going to be at that number tonight?
I will be there. Very exciting.
And I mean, you would agree, right? We are expecting the crowd to be elite, crazy, and get after their ass.
Yeah, like you said, you saw the crowd on Wednesday. Now you're hosting Joel Embiid, James Harden on a Friday night while you're on a winning streak. Yeah, the environment's going to be really good And hopefully it is hard to play at a place like that for Joel Embiid, but as a visitor.
We'll circle back around to the Pelicans more in depth. We're about to go here because I do want to get to Coach Mulkey on time. She's got practice at 9. Neil McClellan says that's a self-report, Mario. And Abu Marzamani and Mario with the all-time spin zone. That's it. You just need to watch games. That's it, man. There's a lot of bowl games going on. Maybe you don't have all the channels. You just got to watch some games, dude. I agree. Avo, it's a sellout tonight. Let's go, dude. Flock up. All right, when we get back, again, I do want to go more in depth with the Pelicans. But right now, I want to take a break, and then I want to get to our favorite, Coach Kim Mulkey. We missed her on Tuesday. Very glad to get her here today after the huge win over Arkansas. Keep it locked, OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. They're right there off Airline Highway. Oh, man, we never got big hats. I'm watching on ESPN right now. Ryan Clark has a big Steelers hat on, and it's still funny. I want a big All-Star Toyota hat. I don't know if they sell those. They do sell cars, though. And so if you are in the market and you need a new vehicle, a used vehicle, maybe you just want to rent one and try some stuff out with cheaper per day rental prices for like a family vacay or something. I know a bunch of people who have joined me by testing the minivan waters, getting that Sienna for maybe like a Disney trip or something like that. The point is, you got the answers to all of this over there at All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge, right there off of Airline Highway. Incredible sales staff, incredible service staff, just quality. Top to bottom. And the selection is second to none. Toyota certified used vehicles still get excellent warranty coverage. Buy right there on the site. Look at the Toyota-thon deals. Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ATEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
You ever heard the tale of the misunderstood bull? A menacing beast who was born to float. A force of nature. The embodiment of grace. Quite grand, yet quiet and nimble. The Infiniti QX80.
Experience the Infiniti QX80 at your local Infiniti retailer.
Gulf Coast office.
Week 17 in the NFL. Tune in on Sunday as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the Carolina Panthers at noon, right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Ooh, no staying alive for LSU as it's more like staying thrive. It was a reach. They're thriving. Though, after a 9-day layoff, we talked to Coach Mulkey about what goes into that process, sending the team home, trying to make sure everybody stays locked in, trying to make sure they do enough over that break, over Christmas and whatnot, spend time with the family. Well, they answer any doubts. As they come back after the layoff, they go to a tough place to play in Bud Walton Arena against a ranked SEC opponent when you're talking about the Arkansas Razorbacks, and the team dominates 69-45, throttling Arkansas beginning to end. Coach Mulkey, thank you so much for making time with us this morning. I know you got practice at 9. You're very busy. Congratulations on the huge win to start conference play.
Well, it is a good win for us. I probably would describe it as huge for a lot of reasons. One, coming off the Christmas break.
Yep.
2, you're on the road. And 3, Arkansas is coming off 2 losses, and so they're hungry for a win. So it was huge in that sense. But we got to flush that thing this morning and get in the film room and start working on Vandy.
Yes, that'll be Sunday at the PMAC. Pack out the PMAC this Sunday. This team has earned and continues to earn your eyeballs. Coach, you know, it's interesting, right? Because you look and Angel Reese gets her 13th double-double in a row. That is the longest streak to start a season by an SEC player since, 22 years ago. Flage is fantastic with her first double-double, hitting double-digit rebounds. But in the post-game press conference, it was LaDasia Williams that you ended up kind of highlighting as setting the tone and in a lot of ways creating this win. What did Deja do that stood out to you and made you be so emphatic and kind of point out her impact on the game?
Well, it wasn't just her 15 rebounds. It's what she did defensively. She was guarding their 5 player who did a lot of things at the high post. They cut off, the guards cut off of her, and they just turned the corner. They're quick. And LaDasia was just in the right spot to help a teammate all night long. And she's the MVP of the game. And that's saying a lot because we had a lot of MVPs. But she knows that Angel's going to get a lot of attention. She's going to get doubled and triple teamed, and LaDasia, can play. And I just think you can't forget about her. But it was what I've always told these kids. It's not your offense that impresses me. It's what you do rebounding the ball, and it's what you do on defense. And those 2 things, LaDasia set the tone for us.
Well, and so then I imagine, Coach, that you are a pretty happy coach this morning. I mean, you out-rebound Arkansas 62-30. I want to say, 23 offensive rebounds alone. You hold a very good Arkansas offense to a season low in scoring and shooting percentage. Would you take this like on a night where maybe you're not going to shoot your best, right? 33% from the field. Are you still happy given how dominant you are on the other side of the ball?
Absolutely, because it just goes to, and that's going to be the first message this morning in the film room. If you don't believe defense and rebounding keep you in games and win games for you when you're not shooting particularly well, then last night should show you that is just true. It was an ugly game offensively for Arkansas and for us, and yet we dominated because of the offensive rebounding.
And Coach, what about Flage's performance? I know you highlighted in the postgame You basically talk about how you don't think that, or she did not look like a freshman out there. She looks like a much more experienced player. You didn't go into details, and you don't have to here necessarily, but I do kind of want you to relay it. What did you tell Flage during the game last night that had her laughing?
Well, you don't want to know, and I would never share that. But let's say if I put it in professional terms, I was saying something to her to make her realize how special she was last night. But it's more in locker room terms that she wouldn't publicly say. And she just died laughing. She loved it. She high-fived me. But that's how I coach. I'm real, and she did have a good game. And 10 rebounds. She and LaDeja just were fighting over those boards last night. And, of course, you know what Angel Reese does night in and night out.
Yeah.
The number of double-doubles she's had since we started. Somebody told me that LaDeja and Reese both having 15-plus rebounds last night, the first time in 20-plus years. So we've got a talented team. We're getting better and better, and if we can continue to commit to the defensive end of the floor, especially when you have poor nights offensively.
Well, and it's interesting. You mentioned Angel Reese, and I think, like, in the micro, there's a question of, like, how do you avoid kind of maybe, like, taking her for granted or keeping her motivated when she's being this dominant. And it also kind of goes to the team. But let's look at Reese specifically. She's so consistent and so night in and night out dominant. Do you think at times as a fan base or even as a coach, like, are you at risk of taking what she brings to the table for granted?
I don't take it for granted, but, you know, this is what I was telling the media last night. Everybody, it's gone now, T-Bob, from people talking about our non-conference schedule to how good are you, Coach? I said, I don't know how good we are. That's for you to decide. I see them every day. So we're working every day. We're not sitting there going, man, we're really good. We are working to win the next game. How good we are, I don't know. That remains to be seen.
And you're going to get some more information at home this Sunday against Vanderbilt. That tip-off is set for 2 p.m. Pack out the PMAC. There will be autographs after the game as well. So if you have some LSU fans that want to meet some of their favorite players, that's a great opportunity to do so. Coach, when you're coming off of a big win like this and you got a couple days before the next one, what is your process for the old, the 24-hour rule? There's all kind of cliches. Like, what's your process for digesting it, refocusing, and locking in for the next test?
Well, we'll start 9 a.m. this morning. When I get off the phone with you, I'll drive. We'll get in the film room. We'll talk briefly. Won't even watch much film on the game last night.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll head straight into Vandy scouting report. Then I can't go on that floor and get up and down the floor this morning. But what I can do is walk through a lot of things. Vandy presents some different things we haven't seen. They'll do a 2-2-1 3/4 court press. They'll play you a matchup zone. They'll mix up their zone. It's things like that you present this morning. And then we have an hour. Well, not an hour. I have as long as I want tomorrow, but I'll go about an hour and a half on the floor, live, hard, guard their set, and attack what they do defensively. 2 p.m. game. I won't get on the floor on Sunday. It's too early to do shooting. We'll do pregame meal and toss it up at 2 o'clock.
Coach, when you're talking about a team that is dominating everybody that they play, the ability to stay locked in and focused and bring that same effort intensity every single game, do you think, does that start more in your room with your staff and trickle down to the players, or in your experience, a great team that can maintain that focus, is that more player-led?
I think it starts with your staff. You play for a passive coach, you're usually going to have a passive team. If you play for an aggressive coach, you're usually going to have an aggressive team. I've always believed that teams are a reflection of the personality of their coaches. Then it goes from there to your captains, and then from there to your better players. And, then it trickles on down. The whole team wants to be a part of something good, exciting, and you don't want to let your teammates down. If I'm playing hard every day, by gosh, you need to be out here playing hard every day. And then when you have success, everybody enjoys that. So we're going to always be prepared. I've always said this. I've never been a part of a staff that did not go on that court prepared. That doesn't mean we're going to win the games. That doesn't mean sometimes we may get embarrassed. But we're going to be prepared, and that's all we can do as coaches.
So if you want to check out this team, the dominant top 10 LSU women's basketball program, undefeated, just absolutely playing dominant basketball right now. That's Sunday, 2 p.m. in the PMAC against Vandy. Autographs afterwards. Great time to bring out the family, whoever, go to the game. Coach Mulkey, I know you are very busy. We'll let you get to practice. Thank you so much for carving out some time for us this morning.
You got it, guys. Take care.
Happy New Year, Coach, and enjoy it. Oh, it is going to be New Year. How about that? Great way to bring in the new year, a little LSU women's basketball action. All right, when we get back, let's go ahead and close out hour number 2. We're kicking off hour 3 after that. Talk a little bowl season, Degen Dome. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to, I believe this is Donaldsonville Glass and Body, dgbauto.com, Donaldsonville Glass and Body, your number one vehicular shop in the state. If you need glass repair, look, man, they've been doing glass repair since 1977. That's how they got their start. Now, over time, they added on, right? All of a sudden, it went beyond glass repair, any mechanical repair. Then you talk about collision repair. Now you're talking about the best body shop in the state. You're talking about 24/7 available towing when you need it. Remember, free pickup and drop-off delivery on said collision repair. And a great way to get in touch with them, because they stay very busy over there at Donaldsonville Glass and Body, is to go to dgbauto.com. You'll see a text box pop up where you can text Kenny Frederick directly and text him, explain the situation, and prepare to get your vehicle taken care of by the best. I love Donaldsonville Glass and Body. You will too. Like, when you get done in dealing with them, you're going to see why I make the trip to bring my car back there. Go to DonaldsonvilleGlassandBody.com, DG&B.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Richards Honda is a smart choice for people because we're concerned about their time. We're concerned about their experience. What we've tried to do over the years is create a process that's a little bit bendable, that can be tailored towards each individual person. Not only do we want them to buy a car from us, and not only do we want them to get a great deal, but we want them to be excited about the deal. We want them to be happy with the deal. And we really want them to be happy with the choice they made to do business with Richards Honda.
Come visit Richards Honda today for your new or pre-owned vehicle. I-12 at Millerville Road or at richardshonda.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
This is a house call.
This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more.
Musso, join us for Friday's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Mario and I guest host and send you into the new year talking LSU Purdue, Saints Eagles, Pels Sixers. Friday's AFR 3 to 6. We're going to dive into the Degen Dome, a little bit more bowl season. We already crapped on Sark in Texas earlier. I don't think, and maybe I'm in the minority here, but I don't think an 8-5 year is a success for Texas. I don't care if Bijan Robinson won the Doak. I don't care if they got a nice win over Kansas State. It's not a successful season. Not when you take over a 7-3 team that wins a bowl game and you go 5-7, then you go 8-5. You lose the bowl game and you don't look very good while doing so. If Arch Manning can't figure it out, then the Sark era at Texas is done. It will be done. Again, vastly underperforming. Another team that is even worse than Texas this year in terms of underperforming, the Oklahoma Sooners. I have been blasting Brent Venables all year long. And granted, you could tell me it's year number 1, T-Bob, relax. Well, okay, if I'm an Oklahoma fan, I see where you're coming from. And I don't judge you for trying to stay positive and trying to feel like Brent Venables can get this thing turned around. I think the year 1 thing becomes a bit interesting because the year 1 thing is both maybe your greatest life raft for hanging on to hope that Oklahoma is going to remain a dominant football team over the next few years. But I think year 1 is also maybe the greatest sign that there could be trouble brewing because this was year 1 of Brent Venables being a head coach. Trouble brewing. Was that on purpose? What was that?
That sounded like the, what's the superhero show?
I don't know. I
The
mean,
meme.
it could have been great if it was like something that we planned for. And then as I was getting into why Oklahoma fans should be scared, if you would have played that into like some like, some like creepy or suspenseful music, it could have potentially played there. Anyway, Venables, though, year 1 has left a lot to be desired. Okay. So yeah, maybe he can get it fixed, but I don't know. There's no past evidence that you can cling on to say that you expect him to get it fixed. And I know that Lincoln Riley, when he left, took a lot with him. There is no denying that. But even after that, if we go back to the 247 composite talent rankings that we were talking about earlier, where 247 looks at the current roster of a team, and then they rank them based on the high school talent they accrued relative to their peers. Again, the top 3, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. Okay, yep, those teams are pretty damn good. Oklahoma checking in at number 9 on this list. Number 9. Not another Big 12 team in the mix, save for Texas, the other most disappointing team in the conference. And yet, despite being number 9, despite having a pretty good transfer quarterback in Dylan Gabriel, despite having Brent Venables, who's supposed to finally be able to get good Oklahoma defense, you had an Oklahoma Sooner football team that just finished the year 6-7. The first losing season for the Sooners in 23 years. A hell of a streak broken. It's not that dissimilar from what happened to LSU at the end of last year. Now, the only difference there is that 6-7 year from LSU represented the end of an era, and then the Brian Kelly era began, right? This is the 6-7 here represents the beginning of the Brent Venables era. So not only was there a massive drop-off from Oklahoma from the results and what they achieved last year, and an excusable drop-off, I don't care if you lost Caleb Williams, an excusable drop-off when you look at the talent that you still have, but you lost to teams that are significantly less talented than you are throughout the year. And so I don't know. I feel really bad for this Oklahoma team, and I don't know what the future holds. And you can tell me, oh, but T-Bob, look at recruiting. Recruiting's been excellent. They've been killing the transfer portal. That's all well and good, but they were already at talent this year. They still had recruits this year, and it amounted to nothing. So maybe Venables gets it fixed, but I'm feeling bad. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum is Mike Norvell, as it appears that the rebuild is nearing completion at Florida State. Now, is this a Tom Herman, Texas situation, 10-4, winning the Sugar Bowl? We're back. Only time will tell. I do love the fact that they get Jordan Travis back next season. We can get into the LSU-FSU matchup like Jake alluded to at the end of hour one. It's going to be just a spectacular way to kick off the year next year. A couple of top 15 teams, probably, potentially a couple of top 10 teams in that matchup if they maybe want to juice it up a little bit more. But if you look at Mike Norvell, that is someone who is on the edge of being fired. And now at the end of the year, what a way to cap the ascent here. Beating Oklahoma, which is always a great team to beat. I don't care if it's 6-6 Oklahoma. Beating that brand and that Sooner team is huge for Florida State. It gets you to 10 wins. It gets you 6 wins in a row in the year. Of course, you beat the SEC West champ. You beat Oklahoma in a bowl. That's a great year. You know who's gigantic? Johnny Wilson. If you watching that game last night, he just jumps off the screen, coming up with big catches throughout the game, including the big one. Crazy one-handed guy draped all over him to set up the eventual game-winning field goal. Mike Norvell later awarded the Cheez-It Trophy by Prince Chedward himself. May we all be so lucky to get to meet Prince Chedward one day, and I hope that Brian Kelly will share in that same fate, getting a trophy from Prince Chedward come Monday. And then you even set up more hype for next year's game, knowing that you have 2 of the Prince's Knights going toe-to-toe to start the season. But now the interesting part with Norvell is because where he's at, FSU and that brand, people are ecstatic right now. But now he's going to deal with the burden of raised expectations. Okay, you went 10-3 this year. Great. What are you going to do next year? You got to go 10 wins again. The ACC is down. Florida State has a golden opportunity to be better than the majority of the ACC. I mean, outside of Clemson, there is not an uber powerful team. There are some nice teams, but nobody great. They're not like the Pac-12, which looks like they're ready to make a move and be maybe like the, maybe push for like second best conference next year, third best conference, whatever the case may be. No, the ACC is down. The door is wide open for Florida State to start challenging for conference championships. And maybe that's the only disappointing part about Florida State this year is despite the nice 10-3 record and the 6 wins in a row to end the year, they did have a rough middle portion there where it felt like same old Norvell and the Seminoles, and it felt like, it ended up costing them a chance at an ACC championship. But at the end of the day, great season for Mike. Super hyped for LSU, FSU to start the season next year. I will never shy away from big-time games to start the year, even though they incur pain, because when you win those things, the happiness generated, the confidence generated by them, I think far exceeds any of the potential pain that you may feel. Let's see what the chat is saying. Only Prince Chedward talk in hour number 3. Carly Woodard, who DF is Prince Chedward. He is the Cheez-It mascot, and he is wonderful looking and glorious. I think I forgot to put my screenshots of Norvell, and it's just so funny because, Danny, if you can get the post game, like last night, Norvell is on the edge of tears because you know what this meant to him, this team, his job security, just a guy from Florida State who's been, he wants to bring his alma mater back, bring the brand back to the one that we all knew growing up in the 90s. And this feels like the closest he has come to accomplishing that. And as he's on, yeah, they did also bathe him in Cheez-Its, which is funny. Chedward did. Mm-hmm. But as they're on the stage and he's kind of tearing up and he's just talking about what a pleasure it's been to coach this team and how thankful he is for this team. And the whole time, Chedward's just standing there right next to him. And to me, that is the wonderful, quirky nature of college football in a nutshell. It's also why these bowl games matter so much. 10-3 is not a championship, but for Norvell and Florida State fans, it feels like a championship. Are LSU, and am I wrong here? LSU, Florida State, they're playing in that stadium next year to kick it off too, right?
Mm-hmm, to open the season.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Well, congratulations, Norvell. Be knighted by Chedward, should we all be so lucky in life. Coming up, hour 3 OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to RejuveMeMedical.com, RejuveMeMedical.com. Restore me, refuel me, rejuve me. You want to feel younger, better, whether you're male, female, 20, 30, 40, 50, I don't care. Aging happens to us all at different rates. And, well, go into Rejuve Me Medical today. Get that free consultation. Get your labs drawn, okay? See where your body's deficient and what it needs. Maybe hormone replacement therapy is for you. It's great. I loved it. A lot of people love it. It's awesome, man. It's not a big deal. Like, if you have any concerns or questions, you can get on the YouTube channel, their YouTube channel, and check out the videos they have there to make you just feel better. Or you just talk to them directly in that consultation. But the point is, let them draw your labs and let your body be the guide to what you need to feel better. And if you're trying to change your body, ask about metabolization optimization. I think you're going to enjoy the results there. The point is, feel younger, feel better with Rejuve Me, RejuveMeMedical.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Black Widow Jeep Gladiators in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Friday, December 30th. Your government taco forecast in Baton Rouge. Expect clear skies with a high of 68. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, starts now.
Let we go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Coming up on this hour of OTB. Welcome back, OTB hour number 3. It is Friday, folks. The weekend is here. New Year's Eve weekend. Hope you all got some great plans. Hope you all got some, hope all of your dreams come true here as we celebrate the passage of time. The old man going down to sleep only for his body to transform into a fresh, new baby year. 2023 almost sounds like sci-fi. Do we think that we're about to be living in the year 2023? And to get you ready for the new year, we're going to have some Danny dating advice coming up for you a bit later on in this hour, as if you are hoping to be successful in your quest to find someone to kiss at midnight over this weekend, our boy Danny Cardenas is going to give you all the hot tips and tricks to be able to do so. I know. Most people got some parties, some big plans. So I wish you all the best. Stay safe. Take Ubers, don't drive, etc., etc. We got Degen Dome coming up a little bit later this hour as well. I do want to revisit the Pelicans. Mario, are the Pelicans getting anybody back tonight?
Yeah, they're getting a little bit healthier. Larry Nance is doubtful, unfortunately.
Damn.
But Herb Jones is questionable.
Okay.
And it's for return to conditioning, so it's not really for injury purposes. Hopefully, he is bad tonight.
Oh yes, because he is illness related, correct?
Yes, but the illness is apparently not there anymore. Like, he's on the injury report for return to basketball conditioning, or whatever it's called. Return to competition reconditioning. There we go.
We did not. Did we talk about this on air? I can't remember. D'Angelo Russell's comment after the game. I feel like we talked about it after the show. I don't know if we touched on it on air, but D'Angelo Russell yesterday after the Pelicans beat the T-Wolves, or I guess it was Wednesday night. He was talking about in the post game, and was it Russell who got the ball stolen from by Zion at the end?
He made the pass.
Okay, yeah. So the direct salt, like, you can do the math and see where the direct salt comes from. But D'Lo after the game basically saying, Zion's out there playing football while we're out here playing basketball. I cannot fathom a softer comment or a dumber one. I mean, I think, I can't remember who said on Twitter, but somebody put it best, and they were like, oh, yeah, he's playing football. That sport where you steal the ball and go and dunk it at the under end of the floor, right? Like, what are you talking about? Just because he's more physically dominant than you? Like, what's your point, D'Angelo Russell? Do you want there to be a Zion rule where he can't play because he's, like, too thick or he's too strong? You would never ban any of your potential partners due to their thickness. So why Zion? Okay, it's basketball. He's just a physical freak. That's an outlier when it comes to the game. And if anything, the problem this year has been that the refs treat him like he's playing football. Like, the majority of the time, the opposite is true, where Zion's not getting calls that everybody else gets because he's so big and strong. Finally, for the first time on Wednesday night, you had a situation where Zion was kind of correctly officiated, and when contact was made, stuff was called. Like, there's all kind of highlights I could point you to of guys just leaning on him, hacking at him. But like Cam Newton, when he wouldn't get calls back in the day just for being a physical freak, Zion hasn't gotten him. So I don't know, D-Russ. It's a bad look. I've enjoyed the D'Angelo Russell success post LA for sure, but that's a really bad look there to lament Zion's playing a different game when all that's really saying is he's so physically superior than you that, like, you're essentially saying that when he says that, it carries the implication that he is so physically superior that he shouldn't even be allowed to play the sport because he is so different than everybody in the sport. And that is true in terms of the physical superiority and how different he is, but you cannot ban him from the sport. And I can't wait to see against Joel Embiid, NBA, an NBA MVP, a guy that Joel Embiid occupies the heights that Zion Williamson wants to get to. CJ McCollum Wednesday night tells Zion, you want to be great? This is your moment. Go take over. Well, now, Friday night, sold out Smoothie King Center, 2 playoff teams. Where do the Sixers rank in the East right now, Mark?
They're 20-13. Got to look at the standings, but they're towards the top.
They're probably like second or third then. I think that would put them maybe fourth or the lowest. Look it up real quick because you're talking about the number 1 team in the West going against one of the top teams in the East in front of a sold-out crowd. Again, Joel Embiid, a guy who had a very similar rhythm to Zion in the beginning of his career. Drafted 1 overall. Injuries kept him out a couple of years. He has now reached the potential. In a lot of ways, Zion's following in his footsteps, following that same rhythm. Can Zion prove to be ahead of schedule? Can he outduel Embiid tonight?
Yeah, the Sixers are 5th in the East, but they're
Wait, 2013 only gets you 5th in the East?
But they're only 4.5 games out of first, which the Celtics are in right now.
I mean, I knew the East was popping off, but 2013 5th is kind of insane. Either way, a team, I mean, what are the Pelicans, 22-11?
Yeah, 22-12.
Okay, 22-12. So a team that has the same record as you, 2 of the top teams in the NBA going toe-to-toe tonight. Mario, I'm guessing you think the Pelicans win. So I'm going to ask you, why do you think the Pelicans win tonight?
Oh, playing some really good basketball. I thought Jeff Duncan made a really good point about Zion kind of learning to take over games. Before, he was a little more passive, and now Brandon Ingram's out. Maybe that helps, but you see him taking over these games. That was an extreme case against Minnesota the other night, but you're seeing a lot more of that. It will be tough, though. Joel Embiid, the last game, had 48 points in a game the Sixers lost, and they have been without Tyrese Maxey. If you remember him, he was really good in the playoffs last season. But he was back at practice yesterday, and it looks like he will be back to play against the Pelicans tonight. He's listed as probable on the injury report, and Maxey putting up 23 points per game this season, 42.2% from deep, so that's going to be a big addition for the Sixers tonight.
Yeah, and here's the tweet that I was referencing yesterday. There's a guy that works with Joel Embiid, Drew Harlem. He's an NBA skills coach, so this is a very biased tweet, but it does give you a great idea of how good Embiid's been this season. Luka goes for a 60, 20, and 11 the other night, something that we've never seen before, literally. A stat line's never been put up for in the NBA. And Drew tweets, quote, Luka was incredible tonight and has been all season. So fun to watch. But to show how biased the media is, here are some facts. Ignore that middle part, okay? Because it's really abhorrently stupid to decry bias when you're stumping for a client. Like you're complaining about bias as you are spitting bias out. We're all biased. Just accept it. But this is interesting. Joel Embiid, as good as Luka's been, Joel Embiid is averaging more points, more rebounds, more blocks, higher field goal percentage, higher free throw percentage, and his team has a better record than does Luka. So Embiid is at the top. It's where Zion wants to be. Can you make a statement in that Smoothie King Center where you're now 14-5 at home? Yes. I believe this year. And what a fun time to be a New Orleans Pelicans fan. And it's kind of caused a bit of a retrospective where people have been going back. I know that Jeff Duncan has a very good piece on NOLA.com right now about how the city acquiring the Pelicans was a real achievement of civic cooperation. And for once in their lives, New Orleans politicians and leaders actually leading and compromising and finding ways to accomplish something positive for the city. It's a look back that maybe hits especially hard right now because New Orleans seems to be just, it still has a lot of the wonderful elements that make it such a special, legendary city, but there does seem to be a distinct lack of leadership in a lot of different areas. And, it's interesting to look back on things that you do successfully. And Mario, you have a pretty nice video here that Fletcher Mackel put together on Twitter, basically looking back at when they got this team, some of the highlights therein. Danny, you ever ready to go?
He's looking it up, but while he does, I'll say that you're right about New Orleans, everything you just said. That's a separate conversation, but having an NBA team in the city for 20 years is a big accomplishment.
Well, and also, I don't live in the city, so I don't want to be like the guy that's like going too hard at it or anything, and there are people who are much more educated that can lament what's going on there currently. It's just that, I mean...
I said, look, King Cheese It. They said, no. That's
really
Prince Chedward.
Really sad.
Which is so much better.
But it's not that case when it comes to New Orleans Pelicans. It's great. It's been very fun to watch. And here's a great look back at what it was like back in 2002 when the Pelicans, when New Orleans won the competition to get a new NBA team.
To all of the folks who said, you shouldn't build that arena because you'll never get an NBA team. And some of them are going to say today, the New Orleans market just can't make it. But when we stretch from Baton Rouge through New Orleans to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, we're a powerful market. And we're the Davids, and we've knocked down the Goliaths today. The New Orleans Hornets are born. Thank you.
This is one of the greatest validations from the outside by gentlemen of great substance and wealth in looking at the location of a $300 million asset that they from the outside have looked to see what we are and have decided that we're in fact the best place in America to have an NBA franchise.
Mayor Morial taunting George Shedd to shoot the basketball in the hoop next to the goal. Mayor Morial shoots. If ever you needed a good start, perhaps a good omen, that is about as good as you could ask for. From a good 20
Put it
feet.
up there with the George Bush
Mayor Morial.
9/11 pitch. Let's go, Morial, draining the shot.
I mean, the stones to make that on your first try after the owner of the team was too scared to shoot it. And some pretty nice distance, too. Morial, badass.
Yeah, and the couple things jump out there. One thing is that line about it being a $300 million asset. You want to talk about a good investment? The Phoenix Suns just sold for $4 billion. Like you were talking about a franchise that is probably worth at least a couple billion now. If you think the Bensons have any interest in selling it, I don't know if you understand math that well. The other thing that is maybe a bit bittersweet there is that whole idea about hearing people from the outside believing in the potential of the city and the state and believing in the investment of investing in the city and the state. And I can't help remember other things, like when I was getting out of college and back in 2013 when New Orleans had more major Hollywood blockbusters filmed there than any other city in the entire world. It felt a bit like a bit of like a relative golden age almost as to where you are now, and I wonder what it would take to get back there, where instead of money and businesses fleeing, how can you convince people that this is a good place to bring your business and to reinvest in? I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting old, right? I think there is also the rhythm of just getting old and getting cynical and angry about things versus believing that everything's all good with youthful exuberance. I don't know. All right, when we get back, let's set up the Degen Dome here on Off the Bench.
OTB, OT.
Join the G Team and get it done with Gordon McKernan today. You need to get it done in the courtroom. You need to get Gordon. And you can actually find them on social media wherever you want at Get Gordon, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case may be. There's a lot of great content coming out. Right now, there's a new video that just dropped on Gordon's Twitter where he's sitting down with Mason Smith and just talking about what this last year has been like, what his goals are going forward. Some really cool stuff coming out of the G Team. Also, that LSU women's basketball team that dominates in Bud Walton last night, every single member of the team supported through NIL by Gordon McKernan. They are on the G Team. So you, if you love LSU, you love the Godfather of NIL, but also if you just need help, again, any injury attorney needs, call 225-888-8888. Really, it's all throughout Louisiana, whatever the area code is, 888-8888. So what are you waiting for? Get it done with the G Team today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
A third of youth who grow up in foster care are homeless 18 months after aging out of care. But you can rewrite that story. Children and youth with CASA and GAL volunteers are more likely to find safe, permanent homes. Change a child's story. Become a volunteer today.
Richards Honda is a smart choice for people because we're concerned about their time. We're concerned about their experience. What we've tried to do over the years is create a process that's a little bit bendable, that can be tailored towards each individual person. Not only do we want them to buy a car from us, and not only do we want them to get a great deal, but we want them to be excited about the deal. We want them to be happy with the deal. And we really want them to be happy with the choice they made to do business with Richards Honda.
Come visit Richards Honda today for your new or pre-owned vehicle. I-12 at Millerville Road or at richardshonda.com.
Time doesn't stop and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Have you ever heard the tale of the misunderstood bull? A menacing beast that was born to float. A force of nature. The embodiment of grace. Quite grand, yet quiet and nimble. The Infiniti QX80.
Experience the Infiniti QX80 at your local Infiniti retailer.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the
Week Friday presented by Tex Morris and Edward Jones Investments. We're at Rufino's. That's right. Game Time presented by Bet Rivers on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Friday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., which includes Handy Tom.
I reminisce. Yeah.
I reminisce for a spell, or shall I say think back 22 years ago to keep it on track. The birth of a child on the 8th of October, a toast, but my granddaddy.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back, OTB. OT, hour number 3. We got our guy Hold the Mayo coming up here in a little bit. Going to be there for some Degen Dome. I think Otter's coming as well. We'll see. I don't know what the deal with Mincy or anybody else is. Rivers is in North Carolina. I will say this. Otter is hot right now, bro. If you have not been following Otter's picks, you have been missing out. Otter is 24-12-3 in the Degen Dome right now. We are talking about a literal 66 win percentage. Averaging 2 of 3 every single week. We got Rivs at 23-16. Jake's right behind her, 22-16-1. Me and Hold the Mayo after that, 17-21-1. Mincy, 16-21-1. And Megan bringing up the rear at 14-23-2. Oh, shoot, what are we going to do here? Oh, yeah, Danny's device here. Did you listen to the video? Do we know?
I'm currently listening to it now.
Okay, you're currently listening now. See if there's any cursing in it. Okay, let me know. So Jeff Nadeau, who I like, he covers college basketball, a big man on campus. He's been hot lately, giving out dating advice, and he had a New Year's game plan for all the single men going out to hit the club this weekend. And I've asked Danny to judge and give us his expert opinion as to whether or not Nadeau is on the ball here. So if you are someone going out this weekend, maybe by yourself and looking for a potential partner, we'll try to give you some tips and tricks to do so. Daniel, you're raising your hand. What's going on? Do we have a curse word?
No, I was just laughing at Oldemeo's face during that whole explanation.
I mean, we can get Dev's opinion as well. Actually, can we bring Dev in right now? Can we bring Dev? He's ready. There we go. Hold the mayo. Dev Snow, htmsports.com/shop. Get you some of that merch. Dev, what's up, brother? Hey, what you got going on for New Year's, man?
I mean, dude, New Orleans, New Year's, it's going to be a good time. I'm not sure yet, but, I follow Nadeau, bro, and he's a character, man.
He's a character.
I mean,
he's a Philly
He's a character.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, man, he's got a niche, and he just pounds it home, So, like, Saturday nights, I'll be on Twitter, and, like 11 p.m., Nadeau will drop a video of him in a Philly club.
Mackin'.
And it's like him, I don't know if he's like telling these girls, hey, come do this video with me, or he's pulling these girls. That's like the misconception, but that's the niche.
I think, I'm going to give my guy, because I have studied the tapes as well. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He's got great eye contact. He has an obvious confidence about him, right? And I think that goes a long way. And you know what's funny, Dev, like in the same way that I think that you are a great, blue collar representation of New Orleans and Yats and everything that's great about the city, I kind of feel the same about Nadeau and Philly, right? Like he is that city in a lot of ways, and it makes me very happy.
If you're thinking of Philly, this is like his attire, this guy, his voice, his ways, it's everything that's about Philly, So, and I think it's different, man. Like you bring that dude down here, he may not pull no ass, right? But up there, he's probably just slaying.
True. He does curse. When? Can we bleep it out or anything, or is it too much?
Yeah, but it won't be ready to this segment.
Okay.
Oh, he curses every video he does.
Yeah.
He does videos in his apartment during the football games where he just goes off on the coaches because they not calling the right plays or whatever, and it's F-bombs every other word, but that's Philly.
Not calling the right plays. That's a very funny way of approaching it. That sounds like someone whose bets are losing and you are upset.
Yeah.
And so it's like, why aren't you calling? Hey, Dev, while we have you here, how you feeling about the Saints on Sunday, dude? Philly. Speaking of Philly, you're going to Philly. You never win there. Gardner Minshew is not Jalen Hurts, but he still had him right there with the Cowboys. If Philly beats you, they improve their own draft stock. You're going to have to watch CD Deuce again. How are we feeling about Sunday?
I think it feels like that San Francisco game, right? But we were in that San Francisco game.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? We literally just lost that game because we just assembled a way to lose it. That was really, like this game right here, if Gardner Minshew's playing, the Saints will have a chance. The Saints will definitely have a chance. But, if Jalen Hurts is playing, they're going to have to play like an absolutely perfect game with no mistakes.
Yeah, not feeling great about it. Deb, what you got going on at Hold the Mayo right now?
I just put out a blog on Zion's effect, which, basically saying, besides the stats, besides the takeover and all that impeccable stuff that he's doing, I think the greatest thing about Zion is how he's getting in people's heads mentally. It's truly impressive, man. It's strong as garlic. Like, dude, these dudes are literally whining after the game. You saw D-Lo.
That's what we were just talking about. What a ridiculous statement D'Angelo Russell. So freaking soft, dude.
Yeah, imagine being this guy's parents and watching this. Like, dude, go do something about it, bro. Like, don't we bringing up different sports and all this stuff. And yeah, if Zion played football, he'd be a Louisiana Football Hall of Famer, man. He's just that type of talent.
What about are you going to go to the Blender tonight?
I might. The thing is with the Blender, man, I usually don't find out to the last second because I kind of wait because I don't want to spend $150-$200 if somebody's going to give me a ticket on Twitter.
Yeah.
So I kind of just wait. And, we were there on Monday night. And,
Wait,
what a time.
Wednesday or Monday?
Monday on
Okay.
RB and our dad. Yeah. Went in there, and it was a great time, bro. It really was.
Danny, do you have a courtside seat for Dev? Ready to go?
Do you?
Do you, Danny? Do you, Benny?
Not that I'm aware of yet.
Wow.
I'll never forget that moment in my life.
Dev has like a million hookups.
He does have a million hookups. Dev's got all the hookups now.
Danny walked in with a jean jacket on.
He loves a jean jacket. Yeah.
Bro.
Did he have glasses on? Did he have his blue light glasses on or no?
Yeah, and he just hit me with like one of these, like,
Oh my, that's not
just
true.
like a little casual head nod, like a so dude. Like, yeah, like just do the deuces at you,
like
just no
the,
big deal.
Like the same thing that Lil Wayne would hit me with if I hollered at him.
Danny, I haven't asked you, are you going to the Blender at all this weekend?
Yeah, I'll be there tonight.
Oh, nice, dude.
These dudes, bro.
Look at Mario and Danny. Are y'all going together?
No.
Are y'all going to meet up for beers at some point?
I would love to.
Are you embarrassed of each other?
No.
Danny,
that hesitation.
Danny, yeah, why don't you want to meet up with Mario? Mario's looking fantastic, by the way, today. So we saw the new watch and gold chain that Mario got for Christmas. The only thing we asked him was to start pairing it with a solid color t-shirt instead of the polo. And today he's got the blue shirt on with the chain, with the watch, feeling good. Things are looking up. Now we just need to get you some of Danny's black skinny jeans there, Mario, and we gonna be rolling, man.
Thank you.
I know Mario's feeling good today. He just added me on Snapchat this morning. So he's in his bag right now.
Truth. Thank you for accepting, Devin. Appreciate that. But yeah, I don't know if Danny would want to meet up with me. I love to sit in the 300 level, which is where my season tickets are.
I like sitting in the 300 level as well. Same thing at the Superdome. That's where you get the real culture.
Yes.
That's where you get the real fans. When you're down low, sometimes those people are so they're almost like self-conscious to cheer.
Can you please sit down?
Yeah.
I think that really applies in the suite though, dude. Like if you go in to sit in a suite for a Pels or Saints game, man, and look, more power to you, free chicken tenders and all that stuff.
That is tight, yeah.
But I mean, you can't like really get into the game in a suite, man. You're secluded. No. It's I don't know, man. It's a feeling that I can't overcome it, man.
You're like a Roman senator at that point. You're like it's an elitist type of feel. Like I think you nailed it. You can't get into the rhythm of the game. You can't really yell. Nobody's going that crazy. Yeah, it's but look, it's awesome for like free drinks and food, and it's a very cool experience. But if you're trying to really live and thrive and get into the emotion, like the thing that makes live sports so incredible, where you become a part of the mob, right? And you kind of lose your own individuality in this kind of tidal wave of energy. You just can't get there in the suite because you're not in the river. You're not in the river. You're sitting there on a boat.
The suite's cool when like the Pels are losing really bad, you know?
Yeah, fair. Very fair.
That's when it's cool.
All right, when we get back, let's do a little Degen Dome. Keep it locked, OTB.
OTB, OT.
Go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com. We talk about All-Star not once, but twice every single day, and that's because they are one of the biggest supporters of this show. So if you like the show, man, please go see what All-Star can offer you, and then let them take it from there. I'm not saying you, again, I'm not telling you to go buy from All-Star automatically. What I'm telling you is if you start your process there, if you go chat with people on the website, allstartoyotabatonrouge.com, or you go see them off of Airline Highway, and you see what they can offer you during Toyotathon. You see what they can offer you from a rental perspective, from a Toyota certified used vehicle perspective, or from a new vehicle perspective. I think you're going to be blown away. And I think you're going to be just as satisfied as I am, where I continually take my business back to All-Star Toyota, not because I have to, not because I get any sweet deals, but because I'm very happy with the product and the people and the process. So join me in my happiness, in my satisfaction. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge, allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, We've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Toyota in Opelousas is here to help you ring in the new year with no markups, and you'll never pay over MSRP. And we have new inventory arriving daily. So Happy New Year from our Corvell Toyota family to yours.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal, supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana loyal. Always.
This is a house call.
Week 17 in the NFL. Tune in on Sunday as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers host the Carolina Panthers at noon, right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Welcome back to OTB. Degen Dome time here. We got Hold the Mayo. We got the Oddfather. I think we got Mincy joining up here in a minute as well. Look at those beautiful faces right there. Otter, of course, at Rufino's. Get ready for a little Football Friday. Hey, Dev, get a load of this. Danny, going to the game tonight, I continued to press as to why Mario and Danny will not be hanging out despite the fact they're both going to the game. And that's when I learned that the reason is Danny's sitting courtside. And so he's separated from the commoners. So there's no way for him and Mario to meet up because he's going to be in his private courtside club. I don't know how Danny has these hookups. I have no clue what the origin of the relationship is. Danny, why did you wait till now to tell us you're going to be courtside?
Don't tell him shush, Danny. Keep your mouth. No.
Well, that's the thing about a courtside plug. Like, once you give it away, bro, like, it's going to be somebody else's plug, too.
Oh, no. Don't ever give up your sources, Danny. Let T-Bob sit up there in the nosebleed with the common folk, baby.
Danny's going to see me and his courtside plug just sitting courtside eating popcorn one night, dude.
I'm going to be on the lookout for you on TV tonight, Danny. Are you on the floor, or are we talking actual courtside?
Wait, actually, they're the same thing. What do you mean?
Well,
Like,
no, I mean, you can be on the floor. You can be second or third.
No, actual
but like,
courtside.
You're going to be
Front row.
actual courtside?
Yeah.
Against the Sixers in a sold-out Smoothie King Center?
Yeah. Hey, do you have access to the Bet Rivers Chairman's Club? No, seriously, because if your feet are on the court, you have access to that, and that is, stone crabs, Dungeness crabs, lobsters with drawn butter. I mean, big shrimp, made-to-order grilled Colorado lamb chops. I mean, we go on and on, baby.
This feels too opulent. That feels like it's like the crash is coming, like wooden clogs on the way up, silk slippers on the way down. That's a little too silk slippery for me, dude.
I sat courtside once last year, and it was incredible, man. Like, I never ate so many vegetables in my life. Like, they had everything. It was like free M&Ms, free Doritos.
There's nothing about what you said just made sense. So he said, I never ate so many vegetables in my life. And for because it was like nice food, and I'm sure the vegetables are very well. And then you go to free M&Ms and free Doritos. Those are not vegetables, Dev.
I know, but I ate my vegetables, and then I got to that. But I mean, I'm just gonna let you know, dude. Like, that club he's talking about, it's like too good to be true, but it's so true. Man.
And so I went for a second time for the Suns game because we did our show for the play-in game against the Spurs, and so I'm thinking it's going to be all the same food. Oh, it was totally different, minus the chilled seafood. But Devin, when you went to Tasty Donuts, did you sit at a $10 table or $25 table to blackjack?
Oh, no. I sat at a $10 table for sure.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wait, so do we have Mincy? I see Mincy's letter in there.
His camera's off.
His camera's off?
And his
mic is off.
I don't know what.
Oh, my God. This is such a disaster of a segment every single week. Hey, Honor, you know what?
Oh, hey, I'm here.
Oh, Mincy, what's up, brother? How we feeling, man?
Dude, we're good, man. I'm on one this week. I've been in dude, I was in like Mississippi Delta, Monroe, New Orleans, Houston, and now I'm in Nashville in like the last 5 days, dude.
Wow. You are on one. Ole Miss is not on one. How we feeling about losing 5 of 6, 4 in a row to end the year? Texas Tech beating him up. Where's the morale at with Ole Miss?
I mean, the best thing I could say about the season is that it's over. No, but I mean, the thing is about it, look, everybody.
Man, so you at a tire shop right now?
Like, no, I'm outside of a coffee shop in Nashville, the Madtown Coffee Shop in Nashville, Tennessee. But I walked outside because they had music playing, so I didn't want to mess up the segment.
Hell yeah.
But no, the Ole Miss thing. What? I mean, I know everybody, y'all are all calling for it. When they were 7-0, they played a cream puff war in September. Everybody knew it. Then they got to the locker room against Kentucky. They were 7-0 coming to Baton Rouge, but it wasn't a very strong 7-0, and everyone knew that. Still, though, to go 1-5 the last 6, and like that was an embarrassing effort the other night. And I know bowl games are like whatever, they're exhibition games, et cetera, but when you can't block Texas Tech, I mean, Texas Tech's got a run defense that's ranked like 104th in the country. You got Quinshon Judkins and Zach Evans. I thought Ole Miss would run for 300 plus in that game. They got blown up at the line of scrimmage. And, like, I mean, it's a basic thing. When you can't block and you can't take care of the football, it doesn't matter who the hell you're playing. And it was an embarrassing effort. I'm glad the season's over and time to hit the transfer portal and reload. But really, really tough ending to the season for the Rebs. And, it is what it is. I mean, you just got to face the music,
Mincy, how's Ole Miss feeling about getting their ass kicked by LSU in baseball this year?
Man, Ole Miss can take beatings for the next 4 years, as far as I'm concerned. Like when you even talking about like how bad Ole Miss football ended up. I mean, baseball winning that national championship. I always tell T-Bob this, how spoiled y'all are as LSU fans. I mean, y'all got freaking 6 baseball titles and 3 football titles in the last 30-something years. Ole Miss doesn't win national titles, and so I'm going to hold on to that forever. And, it definitely eases the pain of the football for sure.
Otter, This segment is bad. The one good part about this segment are your picks, man. Otter, you have never been this hot in the 3 years that we have done this. There's a consistency to the heat, which is mind-blowing. You now sit at 24, 12, and 3. Literal 66.6 repeating win percentage. Hot father. I mean, what's going on, bro? Are you just seeing the board right now? How's this happening?
As Missy would say, when you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah. The wise man said it.
When you're hot, you're hot.
But what changed? What changed,
I'm
man?
jealous, Mitzi. Mitzi's doing something. Are you nervous? I'm doing something new and different for you. Go and see Panic on New Year's Eve.
I know, dude. It's only say my 7th widespread Panic New Year's run in the last 13 years.
You wearing that damn sequin disco shirt again? Huh?
Oh yeah, the disco shirt's coming out tomorrow night for sure. I brought it. I brought a little. I'm traveling light, but the disco shirt made the trip.
Oh,
there you go. There you go. But T-Bob Devin brings up memories. There's so many things that Devin does that brings up memories. And the tasty donuts, man, I had to hustle when I was like 10, 11. So I said, let's go play blackjack at the donut shop. I'll deal. No problem, guys. Boom, 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 boom. Took them,
Wait,
nothing
I need some context here because this is the second time Tasty Donuts is being referenced, and I'm sorry, it's going over my head. What are we talking about here?
Oh, dude, Tasty Donuts is one of
the Big's pies. I mean,
look, it's nostalgic, man. To me, it's the top 10 most nostalgic places in Louisiana history. Tasty Donuts.
Okay.
But the cool thing about Tasty Donuts is it's the same thing, right? So like it's the same red letters, the beige background. It was the same way in the 90s. Like they have survived the evolution and technology of donut shops.
Yeah.
I mean, donut shops have come and gone. Here's a like people are making donuts with flamingos on them and all this crazy stuff, and here's Tasties with just some fire glazed donuts, and it's just they've survived, man. It's beautiful.
And
really
wait, and so Otter back in the day used to run a illegal blackjack rings out of the Tasty Donuts?
Yeah, pick up a little pocket change. Either that or I had a pinball machine in my garage. I said we can play for some money. So
God, dude.
I mean, if a place and Tasty's has it, if they got Joker Poker, I'm gonna go play Joker Poker for the 10 minutes while I'm waiting on my food.
Gotta love the waitress. You need some coffee with that. She's tugging on the heater, as she's serving you your coffee and your honeymoon and apple fritter. So
hell yes, dude. Well,
T-Bob,
yeah.
You want the picks? I'm sorry, good text. Houston, Carolina, the Colts.
Okay, Houston, Carolina, and the Colts. Again, if you have followed Otter's picks, my man is 24, 12, and 3 on the year. Dev, me and you sitting here at 17, 21, and 1. It's all right. Mincy, you're 16, 21, and 2, so you're right behind us. Dev, give me your top play of the weekend.
I'm gonna go today. I'm gonna go with the Mayo Bowl, baby. Shout out to the Mayo Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna take the over. Mintz, me and Mintz been talking about. Don't give me that face. You told me 2 days ago to just take overs.
No, I did. Wait, what?
Yeah, you said you can't decide. You said take the points at the very least.
I said take the points as in take the underdogs.
Oh, well, I'm taking the over.
I'm sorry. I said winning down on these bowl games. Nobody knows anything. Just take the underdogs. I'm sorry. I said take the points.
Dogs 3-0 ATS yesterday. So
There you go.
I like the over today with Tagovailoa's little brother against NC State.
Yeah.
Yeah, over 45 points. We're not asking for 1 million points right here. Just 45.
Mayo, all his top 3 receivers not playing.
Yeah, I like NC. I'm actually going to say my favorite play today is NC State because that game's in Charlotte. There's a lot of pride with Dave Dorn in that program. They're really good on defense. I think they're going to work Maryland.
Didn't all the overs hit yesterday?
No.
Not Texas, Washington. Florida State, Oklahoma hit, and Minnesota, Syracuse hit. Texas, Washington missed.
Dev is flailing. Dev is flailing in the deep end here as his logic is unraveling in front of his face. He's panicking, trying to make sense of it all.
Me and I never picked the same picks. It is what it is. It don't matter.
I got a quick thing. Do y'all think TCU can beat Michigan? Because I kind of do. Y'all think I'm crazy?
No, dude. No, I think I love my 2 picks are the two favorites. I love Georgia to cover, and I love Michigan to cover against TCU. I don't know how the hell that TCU line is going to stand up.
I think Michigan's going to win it all.
Well, we stand on
Thank
Tulane.
you, Otter. I'm kind of there with you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of there with you on Michigan over Georgia, but well, let's let these games play out first.
That little guy on the the dreams come true. The little quarterback for Georgia. I mean, come on, man, that bubble's got to burst sometime. I mean, he is. He's running around. I mean, he's a risk taker, man. For a walk on, this guy's a gunslinger. It's going to catch up with him at some point. So, and they look it's just the gap is tightened a lot. That Georgia team lost a lot. I mean, 15 guys drafted, okay? So Michigan's better than they were. It's not going to be men and boys like it was last year if they meet again.
Do you think, after watching LSU sling it all over the Georgia Dome against Georgia, do you think Ohio State, C.J. Stroud, I'm looking at the over in that Georgia-Ohio State. I think it'd get a little wild.
Maybe, Mincy, but that was
trap,
not.
Dude.
Georgia had a game to play. They had a game to play with. Okay, and so I mean, I'm sorry, LSU on an October 27th game is not going up and down the field like that with the backup quarterback.
Look at what they did against Oregon. Look what they did against Tennessee. That's more representative of the Georgia you're going to see.
Okay,
no,
that's fine.
I mean, they're 35-10 at half.
How about Bo Nix? He said, "Man, I like being a hell away from the SEC. I'm back another year in this candy league." I mean,
bro, come on. Well, actually, Otter, hold on now. Pac-12 is going to be pretty good next year. But also, beyond that, of course Bo Nix is happy. He dealt with nothing but toxicity at Auburn. Now he's beloved. He's a Heisman finalist. He's in Eugene, which is beautiful compared to Auburn, Alabama. He's sitting here in these Oregon Phil Knight-sponsored meeting rooms that have Ferrari leather seats and Brazilian teak wooden floors. Yes, of course Bo Nix is happy. He's ascended to heaven, essentially.
How long has Bo Nix been in college?
A long time.
As long as me. I know he's on the Mets. He's on the Mets program.
Okay, last thing here, boys. How do we feel about this play? The Ultimate Sicko Bowl, 11 a.m. Saturday. Iowa, Kentucky. No starting quarterbacks. One starting wide receiver between the two teams left. The over-under is 31.5, and I'm slamming the under. How do we feel, boys?
Yep.
Yeah,
I like the under too. I like Iowa in the game. That game when Levis hadn't had a great year, but that offensive line is rough, and it was bad against South Carolina. South Carolina beat them in Commonwealth easily. I like Iowa. I'll take the team that has a quarterback starting that's never taken a college snap. So, yeah, I'm on Iowa.
I lean Iowa with odd. Iowa always plays hard in bowl games. They've had a really good bowl record.
There you go, Mitzi. There you go. You're getting your mind right, baby. Right.
Hey, baby. Ready. I'm ready to dance the soles off my shoes, boys. Let's go.
All right,
can we throw a shout out?
Yeah, Mitz looks like he's in Fallout right now, man.
I know.
It's such scenery, man.
What's
really
up, Otter?
Look, it beats those damn curtains, though. I can tell you that.
Hey, Nashville is a little better than Bossier City. We have gone up this week.
Hey, how about Worm? Straight A's and all Metro. A genetic.
Congratulations, Ott.
A genetic.
Sure he's yours?
Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, so for those who don't know, Jimmy Sum, Big Worm now, so he wasn't satisfied getting on the all-tournament team for the soccer tournament a couple of weeks ago. He made all straight A's, and he now just got named all Metro. Shout out. Big time, man.
Congratulations.
Freaking awesome. Congrats, Otter.
You got to be proud dad, Ott. That's really cool, man.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, genetic miracle.
Yeah, he did. Hey, Dev, have fun at the Smoothie King Center if you end up there tonight. Hopefully we'll see Benny courtside. Danny has a picture, and yes, he had the blue light glasses on. We'll get to that next. Mincy, have fun in
sources, Danny. Oh, yeah, don't let it pressure you, Danny.
Dude, I'm in the best of it. Y'all know how happy I am today, man. I mean, there's going to be a serious dance party. Let's do this thing.
Well, Mincy, you have a great time at Panic. And Otter, what's going on at Rufino's?
All picks, man. NFL in college, got a lot of picks. Me and Hanny hunkering down. We've been on a roll in bowls, man, on a heck of a roll. So, I think we got games starting at 11. So, Pitt, hey, how about that? The captains.
Barstool Bowl today, too, boys. First ever Barstool Bowl game.
Okay,
Barstool.tv, Ohio versus Wyoming, but a historic day for Barstool. I mean, it's a really big deal for us. Check it out.
Hell yeah. All right, boys. Well, y'all have a great day. Thanks for joining.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man. I remember, so that's kind of a gambling segment. Well, not kind of, it is. Any gambling you want to do in the DraftKings Sportsbook app. DraftKings Sportsbook app, the promo code Baton Rouge gets you all kind of incredible sign-up deals. Right now, you can bet NBA, NHL, NCAA basketball, NCAA football, women's basketball, like anything and everything, man. It's all there for you. Last night, live bet in Washington. Let's ride. Okay, like it's just so much fun, man. And download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code Baton Rouge if you have not already.
21 or older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. Minimum $5 deposit. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner, Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-770-STOP. 7867.
When we get back, let's close the show. Ask the men.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Time doesn't stop and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications. The powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution. A network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now Rev. New name, same company.
Oh, hey, what's up? It's Big D and Bubba, 100.7 The Tiger Morning Show. We'd love for you to join us every weekday, 4 a.m. till 9 a.m.
Yeah, everything you want in a show. Country music. We got laughs. We got celebrity in-studio guests. We just need you.
Join us every weekday morning, 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., right where it all started.
That's right. Louisiana's country station, 100.7 The Tiger.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving.
So join us for Friday's AFR presented by Don Juan Cigar Bar. Mario and I guest host and send you into the new year talking LSU Purdue, Saints Eagles, Pell Sixers. Friday's AFR 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
TV OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, I know we've been better about Ask the Bench lately, but I apologize. We obviously went very long in the Degen Dome there. It was very fun talking to the boys. We're not going to have time for Danny's dating advice or to do. The bottom line is be yourself. Don't be overbearing and just have fun, okay? Don't be too cool like Danny. With your blue light glasses on. If you want to wear blue light glasses, go ahead, X. I don't care. Also, go to Pace Plus Urgent Care if you're feeling under the weather. You need to feel better immediately. Like if you're feeling bad today and you're like, I cannot be sick for New Year's, get into Patient Plus today. Best docking box I've ever been to. Pace Plus Urgent Care, paceplusuc.com. Ask the Bench brought to you by Colker's Life is Here. Tilted Blue Moonlight Sky, such sweet. We love you. Happy New Year. We'll be back on Monday in 2023.
OTB, OT.
Time doesn't stop, and the world keeps spinning. Community, culture, and communications, the powerful circle that connects us together. We're creating the next evolution, a network built for every possibility, moving faster than ever before, streaming us forward into the future. And the revolution is closer than you think. RTC, ETEL, and Vision are now REV. New name, same company.
Cornwall Toyota in Opelousas is here to help you ring in the new year with no markups, and you'll never pay over MSRP. And we have new inventory arriving daily. So Happy New Year from our Cornwall Toyota family to yours.
Winter can be magical. The Mercedes-Benz Winter Event is here, and there's no better time to check out our new Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge inventory. We have the vehicles that can make your holiday extraordinary. See all the latest technological features on the newest models during our Mercedes-Benz Winter Event. Shop our best of the best award-winning dealership. Visit mbobr.com.
You ever heard the tale of the misunderstood bull? A menacing beast who was born to float. A force of nature. The embodiment of grace. Quite grand, yet quiet and nimble. The Infiniti QX80.
Experience the Infiniti QX80 at your local Infiniti retailer.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Louisiana. It's a place defined by culture, by pride, by passion, by people who do more than love this place. They celebrate it, elevate it, champion it. They are the individuals who embody what makes Louisiana great. The companies that make Louisiana a better place to work and live. The nonprofits leading transformational change in our communities. Champions of Louisiana are all around us, and LWCC is proud to celebrate them because we've always been Louisiana loyal. supporting the workers, the innovators, the change agents of this great place we call home. Who are the champions around you? Together, we can share their stories. Together, we can help our home state thrive. Together, we are Louisiana Loyal. Always.